Oh.
Got it.
I don't know what that looks like to have something be decriminalized, but it's still illegal. Like,
You're looking at it in all these states.
Like jaywalking.
That's legal.
okay, jaywalking.
We gonna compare.
Nobody gets in trouble for
I'm
jaywalking.
about to
Yeah.
say,
It's still illegal.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Wow,
You get the
Jay
best
Wiley.
conversations when people don't
So,
even
yeah.
know you really love.
What a great conversation to start this thing off, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
We live, y'all.
so, hello, Samurai West.
Greetings.
I can do a little bow. Oh, man.
I
But
know.
we gotta start over now.
Hey,
Nah,
listen.
nah.
We've been chit chatting.
Right.
No, but yeah.
So before we get started, like let's talk about your show that was scheduled for tomorrow. What's going on with it?
Damn.
Okay, you just.
I mean,
Came
you
right
just
in with
jump right in on some
Like,
better
get
shit.
that out the
Okay.
way. Look at it out the way.
Well, all right. It's kind of just something that I had to brainstorm and weigh out what is worth my time.
Mhm.
Okay. So, been wanting to do a bunch of shows, got them booked, and for whatever reason, the universe ain't let me trying to be great right now, you know what I'm saying? But that's okay. That just means about to, you know what I'm saying? About to hit gold, you know what I'm saying? So, just people flaking on practice and here and there, and then it's like we don't have a lot of practice time anyway, so it's essential for the times that we get together for practice, right? The last show, I had nobody showed up, which was really like disheartening. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was sounding good. I came out fresh as fuck. Ain't nobody there to see it, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, and I know I've been an exotic dancer for many, many years, and so the way I'm viewing it is like, well, damn, I could just be at work and make hundreds of dollars rather than at this gig being underpaid. And it's okay in the terms of I'll always choose music over the club because that's my dream,
Right.
regardless of the money. However, there ain't nobody there. There ain't nobody for a follow. There ain't nobody for a share. There ain't nobody to post a video. It's like, well, damn, I'm singing to the staff. Like, you know what? I'd rather just go to the booty club, get some money, and then use that money to shuffle onto my music videos for the online internet presence, as far as playlists and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Just putting the effort forth towards the money that's actually going to get me a revenue back.
Right.
So there's just a lot of things. So we have some shows in February that we're just going to be like, okay, gung-ho on those ones. Let's go ham with the promotion and just prepare for that. Because just people canceling, it's just like, you know what, it's a stress.
Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it sounds like you have an active plan for what
Of
you're doing.
course.
It's not just like, okay, I'm canceling. I'm about to just go, fishing or something. You know what I mean? So.
That don't sound bad for real. I can do a fishing trip.
Well,
Not during this one.
well,
Not
bad,
during this one.
bad choice of words, obviously, right?
No, but you're right. I would never just not do something that doesn't make no sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just what made sense for the weekend to just not do the show.
Okay. Well, here on the Legendary People podcast, we got this thing called Origins. Without further ado, where'd you grow up?
Yes. Okay. So I was born in Springfield, Ohio.
Springfield. Okay.
Yes,
Still 937.
Yes, 1997. I was born in a community hospital. And my house I grew up in was in the country, and a little bit outside of Springfield on the north side, and is a little town called Mechanicsburg.
Mechanicsburg. Okay.
I grew up in a little town called Mechanicsburg. I went to kindergarten up there.
Do you remember what schools you went to?
Yes.
Okay.
I went to kindergarten in Mechanicsburg. I remember that. For whatever reason, I was homeschooled in first grade. Then I went back to Mechanicsburg for third grade, fourth grade. I got in trouble for smoking weed in the fourth grade.
How old was you in fourth grade?
Well,
Nice.
that was my brother's birthday present for me turning 10. Sarah, you know digits now. So he took me out in the creek in the back. We had to go in the creek, and we got and climbed up the trees, and we was just. I remember we rode our bikes, and that was the worst bike ride home ever. First time I was ever high.
Oh,
10
my
years
God.
old, just going up those country hills, and Dad got home. There was a routine. His dad was going to cook some food. That always what Dad did.
Mhm.
Got home and he cooked dinner.
Let's bring it back a little bit though. So growing up in the town that you lived in was Mechanicsburg, or that's the school that you went to?
It was the school that I went to because it was very rural. And so we had to go to the school that was closest to the district.
So did you grow up in the inner city of Springfield? I mean, this kindergarten, is this inner city Springfield
No.
or rural?
No. The house that we grew up in was in the country.
Okay.
That they brought me home in. My brother, when he was younger, there was a different house. They lived in a trailer. But by the time I was around, they had gotten a house. So
And this your mom and dad you live with?
I did. I lived with my mom and dad. They was together when I was young.
And what type of, as far as like financially, should I have a lot of money or not a lot of money?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not. You know, being an adult now, I know that we was poor. They did a good job at not making it seem like that, but also
Well, everybody that grows up poor don't realize it while
don't
you're a
know.
kid,
It
because
just
you're
was
just a
what it
kid.
You
was.
can look at your friends, man, and some of them you like, ooh, y'all poor. Or they say, y'all got everything. They feel like they poor. So you
Yeah.
do that.
But when I grew up in
You
the
was
projects.
great, man.
Well, but when you met me, I was.
I met you when you was 10, bro.
Yeah, we lived on Harvard,
know, but I mean,
but our house.
what
I know.
Prestigious name.
But we lived on Harvard, but none of our people went to Harvard. But well, I'm telling you though, there are tiers of being
Yeah,
impoverished.
poverty, yeah.
So, all right. So now let's take it to the poverty level. Were you like super poverty, medium, or just?
You know, this is interesting, and I'm like hesitant in the terms of the last time I did an interview. I'll say this: the last time I did an interview, and I was brutally honest, right? My mama had something to say about it, you know, and that's just what it was.
Yeah.
Why do you talk about us like that? I was like, Mama, it was what it was. I was being
Yeah.
honest. You don't want people to know. That's one thing. So, but it basically, my mom cared a lot about how we looked.
Right.
She cared a lot about how people perceived us, you know. But at the same time, she'd backhand us in the church pew in the front row. You know what I'm saying? You better sing along. Smack.
Was your mother black?
Definitely not. But that's an interesting thing, though, because growing up and having so many friends that are in the black community, I know very much so that is not far at all from how I grew up. I grew up the same exact way that my friends did. You know what I'm saying?
Did
So-
you have a lot of black friends when you were a kid?
You know, as a kid, it's so interesting because, and I'm aware that part of this, what I'm about to explain, is part of white privilege in the terms of, in my head, there was no lesser or greater. People just were who they were. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up racist, and of course my family didn't have many years of oppression in our generational family, so it was I never looked at nobody as black or yellow or green or white. You know what I'm saying? It was just this person is pretty, or I like their long hair.
Did you know any
or,
green people?
Did I know there was green people? Aliens, I guess.
messing with you.
But no, we had several. My mom's best friend was Hispanic. They were from Honduras, and so when I really think about it, yeah, we had a lot of Hispanics. We had, Lamar was down the road. He lived with Elba and Isaac, and those were the family from Honduras. My brother, his name is Jose Arguigo. He is Peruvian. I have a Peruvian brother.
So diverse.
It's very diverse.
Yeah,
I
diversity.
grew up, all right, so this is Champaign County type stuff. Urbana, maybe some people know Urbana. Urbana, if you're from Urbana, you know that we say that's mixed race city. Everybody in there is mixed race or in a interracial relationship, in a biracial relationship, whatever the word it is.
Yeah.
So, that was such a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that we really thought about, just around all the
That's
time.
what we thought about Springfield, though, just in general, like that whole little area.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
You know, I got people from there, so I kind of was up there all the time. It's the same story.
Mhm. Yeah, it's interesting. It actually wasn't until I got to Dayton.
I was just about to ask, when did you come today?
Wait. Y'all going too far. We are in the early stages. Let's
Yeah.
get back on track, right? So
Damn.
respectfully. Respectfully. So back to, you know what I'm saying, like your early beginnings, right? What was the early childhood life like? You know what I'm saying? Like you had your mom, your dad there. What did your dad do as a profession?
So my dad is my favorite person in the world, aside from my daughter. So my dad is an artist. He is a phenomenal artist. He draws. He makes like clay sculptures. He's not a musician. I don't know where I got that from, but loves music.
See what you talking about? Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Yes. So my dad, he is who introduced me to just every good music, just good music, period. Every genre. You know what I'm saying? I love my dad. I could just talk about him for hours. He is such a solid man. He really is such a solid man. Like you don't
That's
have to
truly
tell
amazing.
him. And it is so amazing, especially as a middle-aged white man, how proud I am of him to be the way that he is, breaking those stereotypes, because he is not like.
What are some of those stereotypes that like he breaks?
Now you know.
I'm asking.
There is nothing that I have to like have a conversation with my dad about. If you understand what I'm saying. If there's ever
Such
a
as
social
like racial injustice. things like
exactly a social issue, anything that is a racial issue in society, there's nothing that he's just like, oh, I just don't agree. He's like, well, that's not right. You know what I'm saying? He just gets it. Common sense is common sense. Right is right, wrong is wrong.
Right.
Period. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that you have to like teach him or show him a different example. He'll straight up acknowledge, hey, I don't have that particular trauma. I totally understand. You know what I'm saying? He's such a solid guy. I'm so proud of him.
Okay.
And then to answer your question further, I think about it because my dad is such a great artist, right? And then he had gotten my mom pregnant when they was in high school. And he had gave up his dream. And he got a job. And he still works that job.
Okay.
And he is.
I saw. No,
So are you the only
it's okay.
I'm not an only child. I have my brother. He's my full blood brother, Zachariah. And then
Same mom and dad.
yes, that's my older brother. But then Jose, he's the eldest. He's just not my blood. And Jose is a better brother to me than Zach has ever been, ironically enough.
So your parents, kind of, it was a blended family.
Very much so. Jose had came into our lives as a foreign exchange student, and I was so young that was my brother, and he had stayed with us, and then all the years that's just my brother. But as an adult, I remember he came into our family as a foreign exchange student. It was different. It was different. You know, my parents got divorced twice.
Wait. How do your parents get divorced twice?
Did it too. They got married. Time went by. They got divorced. They got remarried on April Fool's because they said if this don't work out, we ain't nothing.
Ooh.
They did.
That was pretty cool.
That's funny.
Not
Not at first. Not at first.
So, what about your mom? Like, is your mom a mirror to your dad, or is she different?
I'm gonna say this. I love my mom to
You're a
life.
sadist.
I'm gonna say this.
You're a sadist.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this.
Who is he? The English teacher?
Right? Come on now. Why you busting it down like that? I'm just being myself. Damn.
You can always take a point away from
I'ma
Jamie
say
too.
this.
Look. You gotta take a point away from Jamie.
What is a sadist?
What
is a sadist?
Like a Satanist kind of person. Like
Is that seriously?
This is a person.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
No. What?
I didn't get that at first. I was like, oh my God. Okay.
Oh,
Hey, I'm
oh
gonna give
my
you that point right back.
God.
I'm gonna give it right back.
Oh, are you a sadist? Oh my God.
But I'm glad that you said that though, because I'm sure you knew what I meant to say. Okay, that's what's up. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm gonna say this.
Okay. All right.
I love my mom. To answer your question, I love my mom to life. That's a touchy subject. Anybody who really knows me know that the subject of me and my mom is a touchy subject. She hasn't been the best person to me. She hasn't been the best mama to me. She hasn't been the best person to me. That is the only mama I'll ever have.
Yeah.
And I know that she did not have it fair growing up. She did not. She was sexually abused. She was neglected.
Oh my
She was
God.
abandoned. How is a mother supposed to know how to love?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She was young. You know what I'm saying? I do not hold it against her.
Okay.
But it was what it was.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a good time. She's something else.
Okay.
She's something else. She's something else.
So, like you mentioned, you know, it's like a foreign exchange student, which ultimately your brother. Did you notice him kind of getting, you know, ingratiated in the culture easier, or was it, or how did he blend in with the neighborhood and the family and the friends in that area, being from a different place?
No, I think I was so oblivious at the time to any of that. I was so young that people just were who they were. Certain social issues weren't talked about, not even politics. You know, I remember my mom always making a big deal, and I know now why. But I'll say this first. She would be like, when you get to vote, don't ever tell people who you voting for. You don't do that. You don't tell people who you voting for. I know now it's because she wasn't voting for the right motherfuckers. That's why she don't want nobody to know who she voting for. Why are you voting for this man? What? You
Now,
know?
what qualifies as the right person to vote for to you?
Exactly. They're all it's
But we had the stimulus with Trump, and with Trump we
Talk
had
to
money.
me.
And
Nice,
Trump,
man.
$1,500 are we for real?
Okay, first of all,
Shit, it was more.
some people. I'm about to say the PUA, like earlier,
PUA,
the
PPP.
a couple of stimulus.
Y'all don't understand. Y'all paid for that. For them and their friends to
You
run
right.
the whole country.
You're right.
They
So
didn't
you got it
worry
back, though.
about whether you got you a little tiny piece.
I mean,
They're both wings on the
But
same
what
bird.
other president?
Exactly.
I like it better.
Other
I like
than
it.
Bush,
I like
so.
it better. I like it better with it.
I mean, I ain't mad at you.
Some people like drums, some people like wings. They
The
still
money-
come with the same bird.
Like honestly though, like, and this ain't for Donald Trump or whoever, but I'm just saying, like, to give money to the people on the bottom, it always goes back to the people that it started from anyway. So it don't do any harm to give people who need money the money, because they are going to go and spend it with the industries that's already established. There's no changing of the guard by giving poor people money.
I agree, but what do these poor people do with their money?
I mean, you got to give them an opportunity to figure it out.
So for instance, in the book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, no one ever went broke giving away, you know what I'm saying, like giving to charity. So there is a theory to that, right? But back to your life story.
Big facts.
Y'all making it hard on me today. All right, so we're finally at elementary school, right?
But I want to go back to your mom.
okay.
Let's spend a little time there because you didn't really get it all off your chest, okay?
Yeah.
Like, your mom, she was... You might do things different than with your mom. All right. So give us a couple of examples of some of the things that you feel like you would have did differently.
I know she probably ain't gonna watch this anyway. I don't want to hurt her feelings. But my mom, there's things I would have done differently. All right. So for example, I have a couple beautiful female friends that are wonderful mothers, right?
Mhm.
For example, Cece Beckham, one of them. Ebony Dominique,
Yeah,
phenomenal
right
mothers.
one.
Phenomenal mothers, right? So these are my best friends. Hanging out with my best friends. They got daughters. Even Cece has a son. The way that I see my friends interact as mothers with their children, it's a bittersweet thing. It almost breaks my heart and explodes it with joy and happiness at the same time. Like I could just cry tears of joy watching my friends mother their children because of how amazing, just so caring, so gentle, so kind, so like, come on, baby, we're in band practice. Come on, you want on the mic? You know what I'm saying? So encouraging. You know what I'm saying? Just, you want to paint some pictures here? Paint a picture. I'm going to put it up on the wall. Like, just things that I never even...
Is that real?
saw.
Is that real?
Is what real?
Is it real to parent your child without any type of strength, without any type of adversity?
That's different.
Like I'm saying though, I am cautious to judge good or bad. Because when somebody is overly nice, I'm suspicious of that as well as someone that's being overly mean. And I might be characterizing this wrong, but if I see somebody that's, oh baby, your baby, this baby, that, it makes me feel as though when they get behind closed doors, it's a lot of snatching up going on. And I ain't saying that they do this, but real parenting is frustrating. And my daughters, I do everything for them in so much that they get on my damn nerves. And I love them forever and they love me forever. But sometimes I probably get on their nerves by correcting them or something. So I'm saying like parenting is difficult. And somebody that never gets frustrated with their kids, like somebody that remembers everything they do for their kids, they haven't done enough. Like if somebody asks me, what have you done for your kids? I can't even start to name a list of anything because it's a everyday jug. Like, what do you mean? I start naming shit like I paid their lights. I don't know. But we kick it every day, you know?
Look at this. She was talking about the beauty, the nurturing, the mother.
The supportive.
I want to elaborate on
I'm
what you said.
defending her mother.
I want to elaborate on what you said.
Go ahead.
What you said was really valid.
Yeah.
So valid.
Yeah.
So, for example, I said what I said as opposed to my particular upbringing, right? So, for example, my mama would tell me, you got a fat ass, you got all those dimples in your ass, ain't no man gonna like you, you're gonna be a drug addict all your life, you're gonna need a man to do everything for you because you're not smart enough to do it yourself, college is a joke for you, da-da-da-da-da. Right? So it's totally different. Now, what you just said right there about...
Was you smoking weed at 10?
Yeah. But what you just said about...
Your mom wanted to get to you. She wanted to get to you, though. But go ahead.
The perception.
Mm-hmm.
My mom cared a lot about how we looked. My mom cared a lot about how we were perceived, and behind closed doors, my mom was extremely physical abusive. My mom would beat the shit out of me, and I never had a cell in my body that even thought about raising my hand to my mom.
Did y'all go to church?
Every Sunday.
And the Bible instructed your mother to do just exactly what she did spare the rod, spoil the child. And
Let's get some opinions rumbling.
But it's not beating, but it is the interpretation of the scripture that allows that shit to happen.
It's such a balance, though.
You get to interpret how you want. That's the problem.
Everybody
Here go the thing. I had a homeboy growing up. I love this man. Boom, broke over his back. Extension cords.
I know that, bro, but you're more conscious than his parents was, though.
You just said came out the Bible.
Because what I'm trying to tell you is Samurai is more conscious now, today, than what her mother was then. You are more conscious today than what your...
Being as a child even, though.
But you were conscious, though, bro. Like, what I'm saying is, like, we cannot...
She wasn't as aware.
At all.
She wasn't.
In her mind... Like
she looks at
you today.
No.
Hold on. She looks at you today as a product of her parenting. And when I listen to you talk, all I can hear is love. And like the way that you explain things, the way that you look at people, the way that you like for example, you don't want to say anything bad about your mom. You're so hesitant to do that.
I don't want to hurt her. But remember what I just said at the beginning, and I said, I don't hold it against my mom because I understand. The stories that I've heard about my mom's childhood, I sit there and I'm like, wow, my mom was strong as fuck. My mom was badass to have been through what she'd been through. She didn't know as much better to not beat the shit out of me. With how, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there was a lot better ways she could have done things a lot better.
For
yes,
sure.
there's a balance.
It's
There's a
learned,
balance.
man. You learn that shit. You learn that shit.
It's learn, but you can also unlearn, man.
Mm-hmm.
I went through things that my father. I said this to my father. I love him. Rest his soul. All of that. But I said this to my father, and he got offended. I said, my job as a father, because I got 2 boys, my job as a father is to be a better man than you.
And
To
you're
one up you. I wasn't being ugly when I said it. I said it diplomatically. He got offended. How is that not righteous of me to want my sons to be better than me?
Right.
It
My
is
sons to
right.
be better
That's
than
the
me.
legacy.
It is
Like
right.
Uncle
It
Greg.
We
is
wanna
right.
leave a
But
better
what you're
legacy.
saying is, like,
What I'm saying is,
your
there were things
sons
that I
are
did
gonna
not
tell
like
you
that he
the same
did to me
thing.
that I would never
But
do
your
to my
sons will tell you the same thing.
and I'm gonna apply them for it.
Exactly. So her mom made her
This is-
better than her. Your mom.
We're talking disdain here, bro. We're talking
You
disdain.
always disdain. Wait a minute, man. Wait. All I'm trying to say is, and look. This is a build. This is not a build, and I'm not. We doing your life story, okay? But this is an interesting conversation. It's interesting, okay? And I think that it's got some legs here. All that I'm trying to tell you guys is, look. You see how you are and blame yourself, okay? But somewhere, some way, somehow, the person that we see right now has ingredients of the parents, because like the good person that you are right now, the parents that didn't receive that, especially all the stuff that your mom went through, like she did not want you at no cost to have that happen to you. The smoking weed when you were young, she said, I gotta beat that out of her. She going to church, I gotta beat that. Like, she was wrong for doing it, but her intent and her heart
See, but
could have
that's
been in
not
the
all the way
right
accurate.
place.
That's not all the way accurate.
Right.
So, like, for
I don't
example,
think he
for
has-
example,
wanted to be
that's
there.
not all the way
He didn't
accurate.
hear enough information.
For example,
to even-
when I got in trouble for doing drugs, and I got in trouble for doing other things too, drug wise, my mom would do something that, and especially as I'm educated now, I know that this is a technique in any type of slavery situation to cut the hair. She would cut my hair,
What?
which is a big reason of why I let my hair grow long as an adult, because I was never allowed to have long hair. She would cut my hair. For example, a different example of when she beat me. I got a tattoo on my chest, this one, when I was a teenager. And, you know, it was, you know, just one of the hood spots. So the guy was unprofessional. It was just in somebody's living room, right? He was a heavier guy, very obese. And so he was sweating. But I didn't know he had MRSA, right? So it was right by my bra strap, okay? So I go to the gym after, and I end up getting MRSA, where my bra strap is laying over my fresh tattoo. I'm a teenager, right? So I'm still at my mom's house at this point, and it had grown. It was so disgusting. The MRSA was so disgusting. It had like these bumps, and then it grew out to like this whole thing. It was like this pussy thing. It was terrible. I had to go to the doctor, right? They lanced it, took the infection out, and
Who took you to the doctor?
what?
Who took you to the doctor?
Actually, it was my dad. We just went to like the local urgent care, just like the little free urgent care, whatever. So they lanced it, everything like that, stuffed it, everything, right?
Yeah.
I remember asking my mom to help me clean it. It's just one example. I remember saying, Mom, could you help me clean this? Looking back too, I loved that motherly love. I could have cleaned it myself. Okay, I wanted my mama to do it.
Yeah.
So she is a pimple popper. Okay, she's a picker, right? So she was trying to pick at it, and I said, no. The doctor said don't. It hurts. Don't. You know what I'm saying? And I kept pulling it back, like, no. The doctor said stop doing that. So she smacks the shit out of me. Says, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it if I want to, right? It is so painful, and I keep saying, Mom, please stop. It hurts. And she beat the shit out of me out of anger. She had anger issues. And I remember like being on the floor in the bathroom right next to the bathtub, like, Mama, please. And she just beat the shit out of me. I remember ducking out of the bathroom, going in my room. She came in my room. All my shit, just all my dresser, everything, broke everything. Because she was angry because I wouldn't let her pick at my wound from the doctor that told me not to pick it. I'm just saying one example. My mom had anger issues. She had control issues. She had anger issues. I still don't hold it against her. I still don't hold it against her. It just was what it was.
Do you think that your mom taught you not to treat people like that?
That's a great point. So I said earlier, my brother Jose treats me better than my own blood brother Zachariah. It's interesting how Zach chose to go, and this is a normal human psychology thing. Whatever trauma that you were born into, it don't matter whatever the example is, you can either choose to be better or let yourself succumb to the negatives, right? That just wasn't something that I ended up doing. I didn't want to spread anybody not feeling loved like I didn't feel loved. I would never want somebody to feel lonely like I felt lonely. You know what I'm saying? I would never want somebody to feel ununderstood like I never felt understood or listened to or heard. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like growing up. So yeah, I definitely think that it propelled me in a positive direction, to say the least.
Do you believe that when you show up here, you're on a mission? You got a mission. Do you? Yes or no? I already know what the answer
people
is.
will-
I'll say yeah. I'll say yes. I'll say
All right.
yes.
So, is there a such thing as a failed mission?
No,
Bullshit, bro.
there's not.
You got a choice about whether or not you choose to fulfill that mission. You came with all the pieces you needed. So why
But
would
there's
y'all
no
go
such
do-
thing as a failure, though.
Man, quit
No,
playing.
no,
You
no,
giving out
no,
trophies now.
That would be a
no,
setback.
wrong. Listen, I'll give the qualifier for this, right? I gave this analogy before, right? If I'm a coal miner, right, and I'm really trying to find gold, and I dig with that same intensity, that same energy, that same machine that I struck gold with, I'm just in the wrong direction, that's not a wasted mission. I'm just in the wrong direction. Because if I put forth that same energy,
Would you get?
it's not.
But well,
I
hold
learned
on,
technique.
Big bro.
Setback.
No,
Hold on,
wait,
go ahead,
I'm not
Pete.
done.
Go ahead.
I learned technique. No. I learned technique and I learned the wrong direction. It's not wasted.
Okay, I didn't say it was wasted.
Because if I continue to go in that wrong direction,
I mean, hold on. If it's not wasted, it's not a failure.
Else before you got your ass
But
down
didn't
the
he?
river.
But didn't he learn not to go that way?
Man, that's
Hold on, wait a minute. Well, it's your.
it's a literal thing in this story.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a
right.
It's literal
He
in that
might have
story.
been going the right way and stopped this far from his goal.
That's
Yes,
true too.
no,
That's
maybe.
true too.
So my
That's true
point
too.
is,
But-
there
but
is,
hold on.
you have to let there be failure. Otherwise, there can't be success.
Failure is a
There
perception, though.
has to be a balance.
I mean, like okay, so but this is what I did here, and I like this school of thought. That a failure is a collection of data, okay, that you are just using in order to get to the end result that you're looking for. So yes, if I come to work and I curse at a customer and they didn't goddamn buy what I wanted them to buy, you could say you failed on that sale, all right? But when I use the equivalent seed of benefit. I say, damn, I failed on that sale, but what did I get from that? I got, don't curse out the customers if you want to hit a lick.
No. Don't act like you're right.
No,
I am not saying that balance, that learning, that all that didn't come with it. But there still is a such thing as failure.
All right, y'all. we
it's
gotta get back
failure
on-
when you stop. You didn't fail until you stop.
Okay.
You didn't fail until you stop.
Okay.
But my
Or keep
point,
going in the same direction you knew was wrong.
man, I mean, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I look at her and I don't see
I
failure.
don't either. I don't either, but I wasn't.
So
talking
that's
about her.
my point. I'm only looking at this result.
That's beautiful.
I'm only looking at a result. I'm looking at a beautiful result.
But this
I'm looking
didn't
at a.
happen
I'm
by
looking.
giving out
My mama did not
participation
fail me
trophies.
in that.
And
that
that's my.
regard.
That's the point. Because man, I know about the expectations of people. All right, P. I got you. I know you want to get to the interview, but expectations lead to disappointment.
True.
And when you have these expectations, like man, you know, man, her mom gotta do what she gotta do. And I'm not defending your mom and saying that you're wrong, because I don't know, and that would be terrible for me to just presume anything. You know what you're talking about better than me. But this is for the viewers out there to understand, like, look, you guys, there are two sides to every story. And when
Three
your
sides.
mom,
My side, your side, and the truth.
and when your mom sees you in this portrayal of her as someone who was overly angry, she says, damn, I wasn't trying to do that. I
I
fucked
don't think so.
up.
No, like we're missing the part where
I don't think
like
so.
if the conversation was not spread out to a whole hour of this one part. She literally said, "I understand why my mom was like this." And
She
said
did.
that whole thing. Then it got stretched out and
Listen, there's a balance
But
to
we
everything.
shot, but I think this is good though. Like, but go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's a
go
balance
ahead.
to everything. I'm a huge believer in that the yin and yang is prevalent in every single example.
exactly.
The yin and yang is prevalent in every single
Yeah.
example, okay?
Yeah.
So even like with what you're saying, I know for a fact that my mom feels like she fucked up because she told one of my friends one time.
Yeah.
She vented to one of my friends crying, saying, I feel like da-da-da-da, I feel like I was a bad mom, da-da-da-da. She didn't mean to have me be this particular success. Success for her, for me, looked totally different.
That's a great
Right?
point.
It looked totally different. And I'll put something else into perspective. This is something that I thought of a long time ago. I had these friends in high school that got everything handed to them. Okay? Everything. And I mean, when it was time for everybody in the class to get a car type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had the shit. When a new phone came out, I didn't have no car. I didn't have no phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, my nice clothes were Aeropostale. That was as nice as it was. You know what I'm saying? Theirs was Abercrombie or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, much more expensive. You know what I'm saying? If everything was just handed to me, if I just had my papa pay for college like them, if I just had my family give me a car like them, I might be an ungrateful bitch. You know what I'm saying? I might have not have been as intelligent or even as aware, considerate, whatever. I might not be as great of a person as I am if shit was just handed to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't have nothing handed to me, and that's all good. I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad.
Yeah.
You know, it's a balance.
For sure.
So, what kind of things were you into, like when you went to like middle school, and what middle school did you go to?
Okay, so 4th grade, got in trouble.
Mhm.
My mom, and this is funny, she sent me to a parochial school.
What does that mean?
Parochial means a private Christian school.
Okay.
So she sent me
Was that
to
in
a.
Dayton?
No, it was not.
All right, okay, wait a minute. They, yeah,
No,
they,
no, no.
they-
This was in Columbus, on the outskirts. The outskirts. So, like Plain City area. So this was an attempt to straighten me up.
Okay.
And she'll say that was an attempt to straighten me up. She sent me to a private Christian school.
So,
Right.
were you staying on campus, or were you staying with relatives there, or did your family?
Oh no,
move?
it was just a general just like school. You know what I'm saying? We didn't move or nothing. It's called St. St. Paul's Lutheran.
Southside.
Baby, this is in the middle of the country.
So how are you getting to school every day?
I
So
was in Columbus.
yeah, don't
Mhm.
Still in
This is a suburb of Columbus. This was the Columbus area, a suburb of Columbus.
Truck
Plain,
stop.
Plain City is about 10, 12 minutes away, but it's
got the McDonald's and the Wendy's.
you already know
I
that McDonald's was a dirt Dutchman. Right. So it's rural, not far from Columbus. So to talk about how do I get there?
Mhm.
The school district was obligated to bus us to that school because we lived in the school district. So Mechanicsburg School District, they had to get it approved or whatever, had a bus for me, and I'd ride the bus to my school.
How many people was on the bus during this time?
So this was my neighbors as well. So the reason that my mom heard about the school was from her friend.
Okay.
And she said, well, I'm sending my sons to this school, so why don't you send Sarah to straighten them out? Because basically her sons they was doing all the same shit. They was doing drugs and doing stuff we all shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
So we all basically got shuffled onto the parochial school.
Right.
Straighten us up because we was all badass kids.
Okay.
So they were best friends. My mom was best friends. Brandon, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Brandon was the first pronounced death in my life as a child as my brother's best friend. He was our neighbor. They all went. So we all rode the bus.
Death as in signed?
He passed
died.
away.
Okay.
He passed away in a car accident when we was kids.
Oh, okay.
So yes. So we rode the bus to the public school, and then they had another bus waiting for us. They shuffled us on over there to parochial school.
Okay.
Funny thing was, is my mom sent me there to straighten me up. I ended up being the only girl in my entire grade for 3 years.
Oh my
What?
God.
So this is where you, Sarah, you're such a tomboy. This is where I got my tomboyness.
Okay.
5th grade was a little rough as far as I had cooties. 5th grade, all the boys think you had cooties. You know what I'm saying? 6th grade, I learned how to play football. Basically, I couldn't have been left out. Everybody in the grade is playing football and kickball and everything. I had to learn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the whole thing.
Let me ask something. I got a serious question.
Yeah.
No serious question.
That don't
come
sound
from laughter.
serious.
Not one serious question come from laughter. I assure you.
He's still laughing.
Come on, what you got?
Did any of the boys like you? Like 5th grade? Like, damn.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's cooties. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh,
But
y'all just already
pick
knew.
on. You know, they was picking on me.
Did you like any of the boys though? Was it one guy
I did.
in particular?
I did.
Reverse the game.
There was a twin.
Hey, ask these questions I'm asking. You know you want
Come
these
on,
questions, Faye.
Like, shout him out right
Hey,
now. In the
hey.
podcast.
I'm waiting on my.
You waiting on that?
They're all very different now.
Oh,
No, I'm waiting on to talk about her hair and her spiritual jewelry.
All right,
Okay,
all right.
yes.
That's my question.
That's down. So wait a minute. You go to school with boys. You the only girl in this school. What school is this?
In my grade.
You're the
Only
only.
girl in
Okay.
my grade.
How many grades are in the school?
The school, I be in a parochial school. It only went up to 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And so after 7th grade, everybody had to go on to whatever school district they went on to.
All right, and you in the 5th?
I started in the 5th grade and went 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. at
Only
St. Paul's
girl.
Lutheran.
Only girl.
Only girl in my whole grade for 3 years.
So I know you had to be a hot commodity in this school.
I was.
Don't even do her.
What the?
Do her.
That was after you.
She had them.
Yeah, you know what?
She had.
booties.
What she
Don't even
have?
Get me started in how even in a Christian environment they was putting all the blame, and of course it's not, because in the Bible there's not a single every bad thing in the Bible
Happens from a woman.
So it's no surprise that it was Sarah's the one
I
that
would
gets
like to
pulled
stand up.
aside. It's Sarah was the one. That's my name. Sarah.
Yeah.
I was the one to get pulled aside to say these boys. Da, 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 da. I was always the one. It was never the boys getting.
How did that happen? So did you tell your dad that you in this school with only boys though?
I mean, of course, my dad knows, but I'm trying to think if that was.
I mean that is like.
My dad had went to jail around that time and wasn't around.
Oh no.
Didn't have as much of a say. My mom had gotten with this other man that his son was abusing me. They ended up splitting up. So that dad didn't have as much of a say.
Hold on, let's go there. So wait a minute. Your mom got with a new man
Mhm.
and the new man had an older son?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about why dad went in a box or anything, but dad was in a box. And so mom got with this other guy, and, you know, he was all uppity, whatever, and he had a
The
son.
new guy?
Yeah, he had a son named Nevin.
Name what?
Nevin. It was just
Nevin?
Nevin.
Nevin.
But
What does this mean? What is this?
I'm like,
nobody knows what
I'm doing that
that
for
is.
now.
Hey, hey, you are me.
That's what I'm doing this. That's the new nickname.
Hold on, wait. That's kind of well, you know, when you say that, let's talk now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, people want to play with me.
What does
I
this
play
mean?
that. The difference between me and Nevin is Nevin ain't here, but I am. I'm here. I'm here. Ahava, fuck. That's not, no. We don't do that to me. Ahava. Well, I do got. Listen, I want to talk about. I want to talk about yes, but now I got another name.
No, we're not doing that, man.
I got another name for you.
Yo, shit expire like fucking.
So,
Expire like trial period.
Ahava. My nickname is Ahava, but now I got another nickname. Ahavir.
All right, big dog. All right, big dog.
What is it? Say it, Faye. What's my nickname? Ahavir. Say it right there. Ahavir. Say it the right way though. Say it.
Understand why we're saying this. I know the part.
Ahava means love. Hi guys. And you are without love.
I'm not without love, man.
Why did you try to say that?
That's messed up, man.
I just bored. Nah, you're not. You with love. Okay. You are literally with love. Tonight. And all of you are with love.
At the bar. Here you go.
And all of you are with love as you are with
So
me.
that's the only time I'm with love, though?
Of course not.
Okay.
I am forever attached to you as my older brother that I actually admire. I admire you. Love admires you. Okay. But my other name now on Samuri Life Story, I'm telling you guys my name.
This is the greatest podcast ever.
Akhavir. Oh, you say my name so good. Let me get you on camera. All right, so back to you, P. I'm done with this.
Nah,
Brandy got
I'm
me
just gonna let it
drinking.
happen. I'm just gonna allow it to happen.
And I'm just
I'm just gonna allow it to happen. Let's just talk about anything.
I don't know, damn it. I'm not saying.
Let's just talk about
Can I get my
anything.
questions out the way and then we can go ahead and freestyle it?
Your life story is paused. We're not gonna talk about anything.
Man. No. You're taking a long time. Let's get to high school.
Let us get to high
I'm fighting
school.
against current this whole time. Like,
What? He's tired of the story? Are you kidding me?
no, let's talk about.
I guess
aliens.
everybody just wants to get to high school.
As long as she's in the conversation, but let us get to high school.
Okay, all right. But
No, he asked a valid question.
Go
What?
ahead. What's the question?
did you have a boyfriend?
No, bro, we talking about Nevin.
Why you started the shit by trying to call me Ahava with this name and with pointing your forehead? Why did you do this when you said Nevin?
He got it. Y'all ain't paying attention.
Because y'all didn't do
It's
that.
so easy.
Y'all didn't do that.
This you're a nerd.
Dude with glasses.
His
with
glasses
tape on
broke.
it. They always.
Oh,
Come on now.
I think by proxy, y'all are nerds for even knowing that what that means.
a photo every little bit.
Me and Peanut, real street niggas.
You just
We don't
put
know
two
what
and
that
two
means.
together.
That's what you
Me,
Common knowledge.
me and Peanut,
Right.
real street
We
niggas
just
among
kicking
this group.
Yeah.
We don't know what that
But
shit
between the
means.
three of us, I guarantee you, I was the one that was not the nerd.
Oh,
Guaranteed.
Just because I was class president
wasn't
don't
me.
mean I was the nerd.
you was
No.
you was smart. You did
I
a
was smart, but that don't mean you.
Faithe got a law change.
Faithe.
Faithe.
Faith.
Faithe.
Shit.
Damn.
I only know because that's what Nevin was.
Damn.
No, I mean, damn, that's all.
So who was Nevin? Was your mom's boyfriend's son.
And he abused.
Damn.
Yeah, he
Fucking-
abused me.
Yeah,
That
fuck
ended
him.
quickly after I told my mom.
I would have broke his
Man,
glass.
fuck Nevin, bro.
He
Nevin
would
on
lock
some
me in the
bullshit.
basement with fiberglass.
Hey, what?
I know, it was crazy, but I was like in the basement crawl space, like screaming like help me, and they had left me in there itching with fiberglass, and it was funny. They just did that shit to me. I've always been picked on and stuff.
Well, not tonight.
That's not cool.
We celebrated tonight, man. As the real.
It got better. It got better. Yeah.
big-
So,
Damn.
but from a like a back looking perspective, right? Did that school, that environment, did it kind of help you progress when it comes to who you are
No way,
today?
man.
Entirely. Before I had my daughter, I would say that those were the best 3 years of my life in parochial school.
Mhm.
Just for the childhood bliss that was.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It was nice. We had 2 recesses, okay? That shit was dope back then,
That-
you know?
that do
No
sound
So
lit.
offense, but
it
that's
was
that white people shit.
that's that white people shit. It was dope. It was dope.
So I actually want to get Ahav's point, right? Because your mom's idea was to take you there to straighten you out, and you said that was one of the best times of your life, and that was your mom's idea.
But a child.
She
Wait, let her finish.
Yeah, my mom though, the way she told it, she didn't like the fact that I became a tomboy from it. She didn't like the fact that I had a lot of male influence.
But you can't do nothing right.
But it's like, exactly, I can't win for losing. So, but that was that.
Okay. So high school, right? So what kind of interest were you into? I mean, I like to ask that
Was you in
for
any sports? Did you play
Yes,
sports?
very much so.
Volleyball?
No volleyball. I did cross country, track and field, gymnastics, soccer, and I played football, and I also trained with the wrestlers. They wouldn't let me be on the wrestling team, but I trained with them. I like all that heavy shit.
So I like to ask our artists this question. What kind of music were you listening to going into high school? What kind of music taste palette did you have at that point in time in your life?
Okay, so growing up, when we was networking show the other day, when Pharaoh was talking about how important the quality of your artwork is.
Yes.
Right? I related to that so much as far as whenever we would go to the mall, I'd branch off and go to FYE, you know what I'm saying? Or if we was at the Walmart store, I'd find myself in the electronics department, right? They had those little $5 bins.
Yep.
And I remember picking up Parliament Funkadelic. I remember picking up Ohio Players, Nas, and I was going off of things that I like the album artwork first. So
Yes.
like, these are cool. I didn't know this was like before I knew certain music. You know what I'm saying? Just picking up, wow, these funky outfits, all these guys that half naked and funky outfits, all the fur and colors. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? And just all types of stuff. So I listened to mainly hip hop, R&B, but I did like a lot of punk rock. I have some punk rock tattoos on my ankle. I liked a lot of like rock music, but not like 80s rock, not like that. Like
I like 80s rock. So
Uh-oh.
what are you
And how many
saying?
tattoos
What
do
are
you have?
What are you
I
up
wanna
to?
Just to
tattoos
start
you have.
beefing.
What are you up to? Duran? Jamie likes it.
See, I like
Rhoda.
Pink Floyd.
I don't even play. David Lee Roth.
I know all of it.
Yes. Me and you love David Lee Roth. We love Cyndi Lauper. We love Madonna.
Cindy Lauper. Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper,
Lauper.
Madonna. You don't like David Lee Roth?
I'm not saying
California
I didn't
girls?
like it,
You know, he's really judgmental.
You can't put the cast member.
Here, Rhoda. Thank you. Faithe, you are doing a Faithe. I need more of you on this podcast.
No, I use the wrong. Exactly. But I use the wrong words. He's very opinionated. He has very.
He said, hold on, but no, wait a minute. So you did not like 80s rock.
Yeah, so typically I didn't like a lot of okay, for example,
Metal type shit. Yeah,
Kiss.
Yeah,
I'm not
we
doing
don't-
that shit. I
Yeah,
like
me and James,
psychedelic
we don't
rock.
like that. Me and Rhoda don't like that.
Like psychedelic rock is so awesome because
Is it?
psychedelic rock is
Some
culturally that was the drug era. The mushrooms, acid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Stuff
yeah.
Like that.
It was something something.
Oh, no.
from the 70s.
Very much
They'll
so.
like
this
it.
this
That's
was
a
we
big-
talking about
big
the civil rights movement,
fast
any
forward.
type of revolution.
Fast forward.
This was all the allies. Allies. You know, they'd take drugs.
I got you.
and any type of civil rights movement. That was, as far as music, that's the psychedelic era. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was. We talk about the white people there were taking drugs, altering their mind, understanding different perceptions, waking up, sticking up, rallying together. You know what I'm saying? Fighting alongside Black Panther parties, whatnot. So I love psychedelic rock. It's so rhythmic, so melodic, so smooth. Shit, you can just dance and completely lose yourself in.
Right.
There's a lot of rhythm, a lot of passion in psychedelic rock.
Right. So in high school, like, what were some of your other interests? Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had sports, you had music. What other things were you interested in too also?
You know, in high school, it got a little different in the regard of, you know, I was abused in the house. So a lot of times I'd just go to the gym. I'd like to go to the YMCA, shoot, you know what I'm saying, run, and I'd spend hours at the YMCA just doing that to just escape the home trauma. You know what I'm saying? I love to work out, stuff like that.
Was your dad still locked up at this time?
No, let's see. So that whole thing, Dad was in the box. Mom got with this dude. When she found out that Nevin was doing what he was doing, she was like, "All right, let's, we got to cancel this out."
So your mom broke up with her boyfriend once she found out Nevin was doing something wrong?
You know what? I don't particularly remember exactly those details, but I remember telling her, right? This is what I remember is telling her. And I also remember her giving me an option. And she asked me, she said, "Would you rather me stay with Joseph or you want me to be with your dad?" And I obviously said, "I want you to be with my dad."
So I have a question. Where was the foreign exchange brother and your other brother during this time? Were they there also in the household? And do they have a story similar to yours?
Jose had moved out and went to college.
Okay.
I'll always give Jose his flowers. He is one of the top Hispanic income earners in the state of Wisconsin to this day. He married a beautiful supermodel.
That's what's
So
up.
Jose went on to do great things. He
Salute
went
to
off
him.
to college, and so Jose was doing great things. Zach, Zach was still around. Zach went to prison when I was in high school. That was the whole thing. He was still around. He didn't care too much because he got along with Nevin because they would play video games or whatever. And Zach was kind of abusive to me as well. Which, side note, but as I got older, I tolerated abusive relationships from men, and I didn't really know why until a certain point. And I was like, oh my God, my mom subconsciously conditioned me and trained me to still sit at the dinner table with my abuser. You know what I'm saying? That's brotherly love. Shut the fuck up, sit down. So I got used to that. When a man would abuse me, I'm still going to cook, and I'm still going to clean, and I'm still going to be here. And, I'm strong. You know what I'm saying? So, but then it's like, wait a minute, this ain't right. But I forget the original question he was asking me.
Yeah. So like your brother. Well, like you kind of answered it. So like your brother Jose, he goes off to college, is rock star.
Yeah.
He does his thing. He doesn't reach back, or he just.
Oh no, we definitely. I still talk to Jose to this day. He's always shedding love. We met with him a couple different times, like with his wife and everything. But he's just busy, being a superstar.
Right,
So that's all dope.
Okay. So your other brother, he goes to prison.
Well, before that though, Zach was. I remember times that we were really close. Specifically, my mom would call the police on my brother, and I remember from a very young age thinking, well, I'm never going to call the police. All they do is tear apart my family. I remember from a young age thinking, well, every time they're called, something happens at the house where I got to go. My brother would take me and hide me in a corner, like, stay here. And then I'd hear a bunch of stuff, and I'd just be in there, and I'd hear a bunch of stuff. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I remember one time I came out, and Zach was gone, and they took him. You know what I'm saying? And Zach put me in the corner, and he didn't come back to get me. You know what I'm saying? And so just from a young age, before the internet was not a thing. No police brutality was ever a thing in my head, but I'm from a young age, I was like, well, every time these motherfuckers is called, shit gets really fucked up and around the house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, that was that. And I remember, of course, Zach introduced me to weed when I was 10. Zach was caring in a lot of ways. I remember before the bus stop, we would do drugs together, do all types of stuff. And we would go to the church parking lot and do drugs in the church parking lot because we knew that nobody was in there. It was just stupid,
Getting high with the Most High.
Hey, right? But it was just stupid. But I remember we bonded over stuff like that.
Okay.
As an adult, I know that was not the right stuff to do. But as a child, that just was what it was. It was normal, and we would bond. You know what I'm saying? That was just what it was.
You and this laugh tonight.
I'm watching you, bro. I see you.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was a bad kid, like not all the way. I was actually a good kid, but you used to be doing some shit.
I've done a lot of.
So
crazy
why do
stuff.
you feel like your mom was?
No.
Can you bring your mom up one more time?
I was there. Man, quit. I swear, quit.
I got straight A's though.
You got
I would get good in school. She was still
All
like
right,
that.
go to the next point. Peanut don't want me to talk shit. I'm just engineering. They put the cap on my liquor bottle back here, by the way.
When?
Oh.
You know what?
One more time.
It's the first time I've been around you, and I'm just completely. All right. So, what were your plans for after high school?
Let me ask you this, P.
Do I want a shot? No.
No. If you find out your son, let's say he's 12, is at the church.
I'm so done with you. See, this is why I gotta be honest.
Is at the church getting high.
Before
What do
school.
you do?
First of all,
I am
they all did bad stuff.
breaking my foot off in his ass.
Thank you,
I'm breaking
Jamie.
my foot off in his ass.
You, bro. I don't know why you asking these questions.
Nobody said I was right. Okay, it was what it was. We was
She
bad.
was
We
a
was
child.
bad kids. We was
Team
bad
Mom.
kids.
We a shirt to say Team Mom.
It's the greatest podcast ever.
He's so
This is a good
judgmental.
podcast tonight.
I think he get it from his brother.
Who?
The judgmental part.
You don't even know my brother.
He said, y'all
I'm your brother.
Him being
clean over his head.
I'm judgmental.
I wasn't listening.
All right.
Man, me and Samurai is kicking it. At least
Yeah.
I'm with her.
Right.
We's kicking it.
We is
You the
kicking.
only one with it.
This only podcast.
Basically.
This podcast is a whole kicking podcast. Like, this the one you just like
That's
smoke
cool
and
when
chill
you
and
get
listen to.
little bits and pieces.
Yeah, smoke,
And if
chill,
you
listen
really
to,
wanna
right?
know it, you gotta go find.
Nah, man, I want us to
Really
have
want to
a
know?
good
You gotta listen
time.
hard.
All right, come on, P.
What were your plans for after high school, like profession wise?
Well, that didn't go as planned.
But like, what were your original plans?
I remember writing a paper talking about I was gonna go to Cali and deal with this producer and do this and that, this and that. He said to fuck me over in a contract, and I never signed it, so we never went. And so I just kept doing what I was doing. After high school, let's see, I was homeless when I was 17. So I spent the last year of my high school. Well, let me back up. I'm gonna get myself flowers.
Right.
Nah, do it.
I got all my credits to graduate as a sophomore.
Mm.
And so my school had this program, post-secondary. I'm sure probably a lot of people probably know about it, post-secondary. So they paid for me to go to college as a junior and senior because I already had my credits
Right.
to graduate. So I would go to college and have those credits. So I was going to college. And of course, it's not like you don't have to wake up at 7. It's not high school schedule. It's the hours of your class that you have scheduled. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I remember I was homeless at the time. That was a whole thing because there was a time when I was homeless in the car during the winter. I worked at Taco Bell. I was very trustworthy. My boss let me sleep in the back of Taco Bell when it was winter out. So I was sleeping in Taco Bell for a while as a teenager because I was working there. And Urbana University, which is shut down now, but I was going to school at Urbana University. Taco Bell was in Urbana, so we just shoot over to college in the morning and stuff like that. I remember Beth. Bless Beth's heart. Beth, to my friend to this day, she's an old lady, old woman. She was the janitor at Taco Bell for third shift.
Mm-hmm.
And she would, Sarah, you're such a good girl. You get good grades and you work hard, and I can't believe that your mama has you out here in the cold.
That's
No.
a really good voiceover right there. Like, we hit Jason up. Like, we need some extra voices. You got one of them old lady ones. So go ahead.
So I moved in with Beth. Yeah.
Wait, your face a puzzle. Go ahead.
I'm concerned, you know.
So
Here you go again.
concern. Here you go again.
I'm with you. Cause I was fucked up before too.
You were like, all right,
Never mind. Okay,
All right.
man. I guess y'all just
Yeah.
laugh at stuff that ain't funny.
After you laughed at
Stop. This ain't
Bro.
about y'all.
Go. All right. So if I laugh.
Ain't talking about it.
From now on, no. If from now on, if I laugh at anything, don't say nothing.
Okay,
I love it.
I'm an easy target because of my name. I get it.
Oh.
No, you gave that to us.
Bro.
You gave that to us about 20
I
minutes
guess I'm
ago.
just. No. I'm a joke. You
No, I'm
know.
sorry,
I guess I'm
man.
just a joke.
I apologize, bro.
My name is a joke. I'm a joke.
I apologize.
My whole story's a joke.
No. You are Cap right now. Cappuccino over there.
Nah, I just playing. Go ahead. I just playing. See, be careful though. You don't know how somebody feels.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm about to give him a punk ass point, but not now.
Give me-
Don't spend it all in one place. All right.
Thank
All right.
you.
So
Much better.
the beautiful lady Beth was, you know what I'm saying?
Coming in old as
Yeah,
fuck.
Beth took me in.
On the goddamn walker.
The goddamn. She wasn't on a walker.
You made it seem as
She
though
was just hunched a little bit.
hunched.
Yo, old lady, man.
Goddamn with a piece of mud with a goddamn big
Yeah.
old
Yeah, Beth
big
was
old fucking
Still like at about 17.
Uh-huh.
I still ain't asked my question.
All right.
I ain't even got to answer the questions.
You know
Damn.
who you are, not who she was.
Right.
I mean, and it's cool. You gotta touch on who that was to get to that point.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I was out there. And, what was the original question? There's so many distractions.
and then YouTube.
Trust me, I understand
right.
exactly, right? So you were at this time you're on you're going to college at Urbana, you're
Yes.
sleeping in Taco Bell. What happens next in your life?
Okay, well, I had another friend that I moved in with. After Beth, there was drama at Beth's house, so I was homeless again. That was in the summertime, so it wasn't as bad. You know what I'm saying? My friend Casey and his parents took me in during the fall because it got cold. I remember we worked at Honda, so I worked up at the Honda manufacturing plant, and I was in there twerking engines and everything, and that was a whole time. That was a whole thing. And I ended up.
I know that's why I'm laughing too in my brain.
That's what it was, twerking engines.
We
So-
all get the bar, guys, right? You went from
Right.
twerking engine to twerk. Fast forward, got it. All right, got it.
He ain't allowed to laugh.
Well, we all got it. We all. It was low hanging fruit. All right. So yeah. So you get the Honda plant. So now you're making a couple dollars in it. Are you now living?
couple more ducats, but not enough, you know. And I just remember being so exhausted from working all the time, like constantly. They had us working every other Saturday, from Monday to Friday, and then every other Saturday.
Yeah.
So I only got that's only one Sunday off every other week. You know what I'm saying? That's a hell of work. So I remember coming home and I had no energy to do nothing for myself, no music, no exercise, and it was a whole thing. Actually, we had went to the titty bar around Thanksgiving and got pulled over. It was this whole thing. The cops was being assholes, obviously, and they had pulled me over right before I got all the way home at Urbana. So I had driven all the way. I'd driven about an hour, totally fine. And I was fucked up. Obviously, I was drinking. But at the time, we had gotten out of Dayton, gotten out of Springfield, gotten back into the country of Urbana. So I have my iPod, and I'm just
Trying to look for a song.
Yep. I'm in the middle of the road because it's dark out. So if you
Yeah.
guys know about driving, it's behind a drive. You know what I'm saying? You can see headlights. I know I'm fine. There's a cop. He was sneaking and geeking. He got me, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, that's happened to you before.
had to put a
Faithe.
boot on the car, everything. So then that's when we was at the club, and I had just thought like, damn, now I got a boot on my car, da 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 da, and it was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go and start dancing. I'm gonna get this money.
So that was your first time.
Hold on,
what?
That was my first time saying that I was going to dance myself. I had been to the club several times as a customer because I enjoy going as a customer.
Why?
That was the first time I was like, you know what, I could do that shit. And I had that job ever since. I've danced for 10 years. I love dancing.
So you had a question of why?
Like, what do you like most about dancing?
I would like to know, is it the money? Is it...
There you go, Faithe. Come on.
Girl, you are funny.
Get in their face. Yeah.
So, you know what, to be honest, there's positives and negatives to every job.
Yeah.
There's positives and negatives to every job.
Agreed.
And so there was a time in my life where I would hone more on the negatives of that job. I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be sexualized all the time. Oh, motherfucker trying to touch on my booty. Whatever. Trying to ask me for sex. All those things I could complain about. But in all reality, it don't matter if I look like a bum and I'm over at the bar at Flavor House or not. It don't matter if I'm at the checkout line at Kroger's or not. I'm going to get hit on and sexualized no matter where I'm going.
That's
it don't
right.
fucking matter.
That's right.
It don't matter what job I have.
That's right. And the Pat Cooley question was
Yes.
right there. Peanut, very good, bro. Me and you right here. So Pat Cooley told us, who she dances, but she takes it to the next level of giving what you're asking for. No, seriously.
What's the next level?
The next level is actually performing sexual acts for the clientele that
Sex
propositions her.
Yes. Sex work.
Well, it's all a level of sex work. It's even if there is no sexual intercourse going on. I've done sex work myself. I've done sex work that had nothing to do with my female parts. There's all types of sex work. There's people that like foot, there's people that like feet. There's people that just want to pay you to touch yourself. There's all types of sex work. It doesn't necessarily have to be intrusive to your own body.
But we want to go to the shit that we all familiar with.
Okay.
All right, so we not just tap dancing. So
Not tap dancing.
Pat Cooley said that 7 out of 10 women who are exotic dancers, strippers, dancers, they will go for the money that's being offered. Is that your perception of the industry as well?
Can you rephrase that question?
70% of strippers will fuck for money.
That's a large percentage. I ain't gonna lie.
But it's not only strippers, by the way. This is regular women and general population.
I was there regular women also.
Well, let's be honest. That is the oldest profession. That's true. Sex work is the oldest profession, and to be truthful, as a woman, if you are okay with that, and that is okay with you as a woman, I don't think that it is anybody's place to judge that woman if that's what she's okay to do with what God gave her. That is her body. That is her choice. That doesn't mean that I would. That's me saying it ain't my place to judge what she gonna do with her body. If she comfortable with it, that's honestly, God gave you that. And if somebody's gonna pay you for it, why not?
You still kind of like danced around. You said
You gonna tell her?
Okay, so the 7 out of 10.
she didn't answer the question.
So I'm glad you brought it back.
You missed it.
I do think that that's probably accurate.
That's high, yeah.
That's probably accurate. Danced around. There's a whole strip club culture though. Day shift dancers, and this really is any state, any club. Day shift dancers are generally different than night shift dancers. Usually that might more happen on night shift. You know, the night shift girl, generally speaking, trust and believe, there's been some day shift hoes too.
Don't the day shift deal with people who wake up thinking about sex?
Ew, why would...
No. I don't, not
You might
particularly.
be right about that though. The who's gonna go into a club
In the daytime.
If y'all don't know, then you don't know.
Morning
But
wood.
you
don't know.
I know there's
They
a
wake
lot
up,
of
they wake up and want to fuck.
not all the time. There's a lot of business guys that just come in to do their normal business runs. I know a lot of guys that come into the club. I know, laugh all you want. It's real shit.
To me, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at they come to the strip club, okay? That's not a business run. They're coming to the strip club to see good pussy. They
You didn't let me finish.
They want
Some
the
people is
company
making
of a
business
woman.
I can see what it's like to be.
Some people is making business runs because, like, a couple of the people that establishment I work at right now, a lot of them come in to do the alcohol deliveries. You know what I'm saying? A lot of day shift people is.
But if they stop to get a dance, they're outside of that
Oh, of course.
working.
Of course they're finessing. Of
So
course they're
yeah,
finessing.
we don't count them. We count people who willingly come there outside of a work situation. If I work at T-Shirt Kings, yet I'm at the strip club
On your lunch break.
on my lunch break, I'm in there to see you, and I'm thirsty. So therefore, like, they all come for the possibility that the ultimate could possibly happen.
Not all the time, and I'm gonna say this: and this goes to every
Well, you should
single
listen to a
category
male
in
because
life.
males know what they're talking about because
They
males
want
know
the
what they
ultimate.
Every single
people want the
example in
fantasy.
life. If you don't have a first-hand experience in any topic at all,
I got it.
any topic at all,
Yeah.
period. It don't matter what the topic is. If you don't have
Mm-hmm.
first-hand experience in that topic, your perception ain't accurate.
I have a first
Damn,
hand.
take a point away from me.
I have
do it. Do it.
That's not
Do it. Do it. Take a step.
I have a first-hand experience in
First-hand?
this particular
You
topic.
was in the booty club shaking it too.
What?
10 a.m. or 11.
At fucking 9, I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't open. This is terrible. They
No,
need to
you
fucking
did not.
revamp their schedule. Listen, man, stop playing, bro. Like, listen, bro. I am a real person, bro. Like, I don't like for.
Real people.
Listen, bro.
I ain't never been in no 9 a.m.
But because
I'm not joking.
nah, because you in particular have not reached where I was that day, and that's a good thing, though.
That's a good ass
I
point.
feel
But
like
what
you
I'm
gotta
saying
upgrade
is
just to
though,
get some
like
booty just too much.
anytime, man, like for example, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like if you might have money, okay?
11 right now.
If
Let's
Hold on.
Who just held their breath?
Me.
I love it.
hold my breath. No, why? But this is Faith's ritual. But nah, what I'm
What's my
saying.
favorite ritual?
But look. If sometimes, man, like I've seen this this thing with this guy named Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft is the owner of the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay.
That's a good ass point.
This bro went and got massages and all that shit. He really went there to get his dick jacked off. Okay. But this is a billionaire. All right. So what I'm trying to tell you is when sometimes like you don't feel like going through the chase of courting a woman. You don't want to try to holler at a woman. You have fears of rejection. You got fears of bullshitting. You got too much. So you might just want to go to a strip club, get you a stripper and try to fuck them and pay them and not have to deal with nothing else.
That's what you're paying for.
So,
No bullshit.
like, but people don't want to get real and talk about that type of shit.
real
But
shit.
that's
Let's get
shit
real.
that somebody might want to do.
Real shit.
So
valid.
what I'm saying is the person that's coming into the strip club, the ultimate situation that could happen for them is for them to actually get some pussy from the dancer that's dancing with them. And the woman that's in control understands that. And that's why she can give them 1, 2, 3, 4 dances for the chance that they might eventually get
Let me ask you this. Regardless of a customer in a club, let's just think about a man's psychology.
Mhm.
If a woman throws her pussy at any man, generally speaking, unless that man has hella strength and you know what I'm saying, he gonna take that. It don't matter if it's in the club or not.
It depends. It depends. It depends.
If you don't have first-hand experience on a subject that you don't know nothing about,
You're telling Peanut.
bros. My bros.
So,
And let me
Yeah,
tell you
no, not
something.
me.
Let me tell you something else too.
I'm so proud
Like
of you, man.
I think there are numerous of times.
The male species just stuck together like that.
Nah.
Women
When
empowerment.
it was her point, everybody's heads was nodding. So now what?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of times where I feel like women are like they're more sleek about how they go about being seductive to a man, but they still give signs and symbols to someone that they could be available. Man, like
What you eat last night?
like I
What
don't
you eat
take,
last
I
night?
don't
Oh,
I
she
don't
ain't feeding you?
always, I don't right. Like I'm just saying, like I don't always.
Look, you know the truth. Look,
He ain't feeding you.
I don't take the bait all the time. You know what I'm saying? As thirsty as I might be one day, I'm not at all interested another day. And it ain't.
Male species be like.
Or you just understand that it's a trap.
Yeah.
It's a fucking
It's
trap.
a peanut
Right.
trap.
Easy.
Right.
Easy.
Right.
Keep it
And
playing
it
over
depends on
there.
your situation. If you got a woman, you might have somebody where this situation ain't what you looking for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you,
So
I have
there
a
it
lot
is.
of customers that are regulars that are old men that literally come in for conversation. They literally come in to laugh, shoot the shit, buy you drinks. They'll tip you good, and they don't want nothing from you.
That's right.
And that is real. It is real.
but
It
if you
is
are-
real.
but if you-
It is real.
you don't have
That be
tell 'em,
happening.
tell 'em,
There's
tell 'em,
old
tell 'em,
men that
tell 'em.
just want some
If you have
company.
$10 thing.
It's true.
Store for conversation. They can go to the
Is that right?
But they want to rub on some booty too. I mean, it's okay. They want to rub on some booty too, but they don't want no pussy. They just, they want a pretty woman. They want a pretty
I've
woman.
always said that.
Well, I mean, come on, let's get real. What girl at the grocery store is gonna be like, okay, baby, yeah? What girl at the grocery store?
None.
Get a dog and go to the park, and I guarantee.
But they only want conversation because you're not giving them anything else.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna say that. I'm going to say this. You got me on life for that. You got me on life for that.
Hey, English teacher.
I lost my train of thought.
Stripping.
You're gonna say this.
Dancing.
You're gonna say
Old
this.
men.
Old men don't
Old
want
men.
pussy.
Old men
Losing
don't
my
want
train of thought.
box.
Yeah.
They want the conversation. The conversation is valuable.
Yeah. Conversation is valuable to old
Regardless,
men. You okay. Them old
There
men
is
been
good and
popping,
bad to
goddamn
every single
Viagra.
job. There's good and bad to every single job.
Yeah.
You weigh out the options. I would rather be my own boss, make my own schedule, go there and make all the ducats possible, tax free. Okay.
So,
And then
Sarah,
still go home
if you don't
and
mind
be
me
able to
calling you
work on my
Sarah.
entrepreneur business. Yes,
don't
baby.
mind
You
me
can
calling
call
you
me
Sarah. I love that. What do you have to tell the ladies out there who might potentially, possibly, hypothetically speaking,
Hey, no, you Hey, I got faith in you. No, ask.
What advice do you have to give to them? Because it is a lot of girls who want to do that secretly, who don't.
Honestly, I don't recommend it.
Amen.
I don't recommend it, even though I'm still gonna go there and work
I was
myself.
about to say.
And this is why. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm just being honest. I know my shit. I am very professional. A lot of them girls are not. A lot of them girls are not professional. A lot of them girls don't have their priorities straight about why they in there. A lot of girls just go in there, they drink, they sell their pussy, da-da-da-da-da. You know what? I'm in there to get my money. I'm going to be completely professional. I'm going to go in there and smile and treat everyone so kind, make everyone feel great. You know what I'm saying? Have a great time. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave and go back to my life.
So
You know,
I have two questions.
Not a lot of girls, not a lot of, I'm going to say this. When I write my book talking about stripper etiquette for customers and dancers, then would be better for me to be like, all right, once you read the book, if you want to dance, then go ahead. Here's all the game. Because it's a toxic environment. It's a toxic environment. I've danced for 10 years. I've learned a lot.
I have a
But
question about that.
I've been in the street for quite some time, even before I ever danced. I was homeless. I had all my friends was in the street, so I know a lot of game that a lot of girls don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it can be a very dangerous environment.
Okay, so I have a question. So with you being in the game, 10 years, right? Right.
That's a long time. That's a decade right there.
Right. have you seen a super OG there?
Oh my God, yes.
And what is their tenure?
I know a girl right now, Mary Chanel. Mary Chanel.
Shout out
She
to
is
Mary
the dopest.
Chanel.
She is over 50 years old, sexy as a motherfucker.
Really?
She's still doing the thing.
She been dancing
She
the
is
Reagan
still
administration.
doing the thing.
Becky with the fat ass. Okay.
Hella duckets.
Okay. No.
What's some of the stuff that she might do to kind of like keep her tenure going?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean?
What you do to keep herself up?
I'm about to say, how long
If
she been
doing
stripping?
it that long, oh, she got a following.
Mary has a following. If she whether she goes to Vegas, whether she goes to Columbus, Dayton, she has her crew everywhere she goes.
Wow.
She's sexy as fuck. She has a beautiful body. She keeps it in shape. She dances.
Her first video was
She
in
has
black
fake
and white.
titties. You know what I'm saying? So they're up and everything. But
Oh.
she's great. But so yeah, people be doing that and they make a great living.
Well, one thing
That's
that I do
another
want to.
aspect in it of
Go.
stripping is financial.
It's a real job.
Yeah,
It's a
for
real
sure.
legit
I'm about to stop
job.
talking about it right now because Ahava is looking at me like
No,
he's about to slap me
Faye.
upside the
I
wall.
want you to ask all you asking the best
Yeah,
questions,
yeah.
honestly.
Yes.
Come on.
So I'm not judging
I'm
you.
just
I
saying
want you to
because I'm
dance.
the
I
only
want you to
female
dance.
At the table, I feel like
Yeah.
right
I want you
now,
to start
other than her.
dancing.
No, we got faith in you.
So I want to know the female
just telling
perspective
her.
of stripping. Y'all want to come out here and act like strippers just trying to throw pussy and
No, yeah,
male
they don't
species
do that.
just
They don't
want,
do that.
you know,
They don't do that at
I
all.
want to know because there's a lot of girls out there who want to know about stripping and like they're fascinated even if they don't want to
And-
do it. They're like, wow, you're a stripper.
Yeah.
That's you jumping off the porch.
Faye,
That's you
you're
jumping
right,
off the
Faye.
porch.
I'm serious.
I'm
So
saying,
at
if you jumped off the porch, there was a reason.
I'm like,
So,
who?
So what's the first steps that a woman needs to do in order to basically become stripper,
Put on
I
a
wanna say-
dancer, and how does she get comfortable?
I
with
want to
doing
make it clear that there's so many other great things to me other than the main source of how I make money.
No, we just
it?
got
No,
there.
I know that.
There are so
for
many
sure.
other
just got
great
here.
things that
We
I
just
do
got here.
other than dancing. I just want to make that clear.
Right.
Amen.
But you asked what is one of the
First step.
first steps that I would do if what?
Your first day you get into the police pull you over and you say, man, fuck this, bro. I'm about to go in there and start dancing.
Well,
What do you do next?
Well, it wasn't necessarily exactly that simple. I remember being in a situation thinking, well, damn, my car got a boot on it. My license is suspended. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to, my work is at Honda. Fuck Honda. I'm not getting enough money there anyway. Talked to a friend and they was like, well, Sarah, why don't you, you're hot, you got ass, why don't you start dancing? I was like, well, damn, I guess.
Who said that?
One of my friends.
You stop your shenanigans over there
Bruh.
because I feel like
Bullshit.
she want to do what she want to do with her life.
I was fucking with you.
And look at her. She
Who
wouldn't-
said that?
She
Oh,
wouldn't have been
you
doing
said-
it 10
I get it.
years if she feel me.
See,
she
I
ain't-
do not get, I'm a natural blonde, so sometimes I don't
I'm
get the
fucking
joke.
with you, bro. Let's get busy. Come
Speaking
on.
of blind, she had a question that she asked in pre-production, so you can answer it now, even though I know the answer. About
Oh, yeah.
Yes, my first question is, I get a lot of backlash on this because I'm like, oh, your dreads are cute, and people like they're not dreads, they're locks. So, what's the difference between dreads and locks? Like,
That's a great question. Okay, so my education on this has recently grown, I'll say. So, and if I'm wrong or inaccurate about anything, I apologize. But I'm just going to be truthful to what I've been told, and what I know from my peers and my ancestors, right? So when I first had locked my hair, people was saying dreads, right? I remember one of my elders, such a beautiful woman. She, we was at church, and she's blind, and she felt me. She asked
How
if
does she
could
know?
feel my hair.
She
Why are you
doesn't tell how.
laughing?
No,
Why are you laughing?
let the story develop so you can find out.
She's a lady that she's a prominent in our community. She's my friend's mom, and she has really, really long locks.
Okay.
She was told,
Oh.
Shaq was my boyfriend at the time. Shaq's mom told Bari's mom, I forget Bari's mom's name, that Sarah had locks. So she asked me if she could touch them because she's blind. And I had said dreads. Whatever the sentence was, that was the vocabulary word that I chose to use.
God.
And she corrected me.
What a dreadful term.
She said,
Spoiler alert.
you're not.
Nah, come on, B.
I'll give it.
Hey.
You're done.
Yeah, you
That TikTok,
you cut off.
You're done.
You the pot calling the kettle ahava.
I'll just mess with you. All right, come on. So they
Okay,
try to they like, oh
This
my
is a
God.
good question. I want to tell you
They're
this. This
trying
is
to
a
be-
good question. She told me she had said this was a long time ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago. She had said, "Baby girl, there ain't nothing dreadful about your hair. We call them locks. Spiritual antennas." So I've respected that ever since, right?
Do you feel like it's a
I did
racial
get that
thing?
from
RT.
Do you feel like it's a
RT.
racial
I
thing?
do not, and I'll
Because
explain
a
that
lot of
further.
Black people say dread, so
Thi-
that's why I had.
Art.
I'm gonna tell you something. This is something that I have learned.
Used to be.
That I'm sure we're all aware. The Black community in America is not the same as any other type of quote unquote, for lack of a better term, Black person in other places around the world.
Right.
America is a whole different thing in itself, right? So this is something I was recently explained about
Teach
Rastafarian
'em.
culture. So in Rastafarian culture, you'll have a lot of Rastas that will say, "These are my dreads, right?" And you go, and it's like, wait a minute, I thought it was called locks, right? So the way that it was explained to me, from my understanding, in America, the terms have kind of flip-flopped, and locks is more referred to as a hairstyle, whereas to dreads in Rastafarian culture is the way of life, right? For example,
Vocabulary word Rastafari. Did I say that
Right.
right?
Rastafari. So, like, for example,
Oh, now do
You
y'all
see
know what
people make their-
Rastafari? Do you know what Rastafari is?
you asking all these questions too quick. Damn it. I'm not off the top of my head because I'm on a different.
No,
No. Okay.
no.
This is the best.
Go ahead and
podcast
tell us.
ever, man. I don't care what nobody say. Even me.
Rastafari is Haile Selassie. Okay? Rastafari is Prince Tafari. Okay? And what he did was he defended Ethiopia against the
Invaders.
Italian invasion. You had Mussolini who was coming in, and Ethiopia actually defeated the Italians. And Prince Tafari, who are you calling Rastafari, was the one in charge. So that's where we got Rastafaria, and you got the dreads.
Or dread? Okay. He had
Yeah. But like dreads happen some of the way that we was growing our hair and wouldn't cut that motherfucking shit like the Europeans.
Right.
And when we wouldn't cut it like the Europeans, they start saying that's dreadful. That's dreadful for a motherfucker to have a hair like that. And we fucking didn't give a fuck. We said, yeah, fuck it then, nigga. We dreadful. So, like, these is all terminologies that's used to describe the feelings of the oppressor and motherfuckers that wanted to, like, overtake you, change you, flip you into being who they want you to be. But for us to have these is a sign of rebellion, right? So, okay, motherfucker, it's dreadful for you, but it's motherfucking prideful for me.
That's hard. There you go. Nigga,
All
I knew you
right.
pop that three. Get
To my
Just
you
like
strength.
the N-word.
I knew you
so
pop
to
that
speak.
three in the corner. You ain't
Right.
involved, man.
Just like
Right.
that, quote to speak. I'm just saying, we flipped it and made it hard.
Hard.
Exactly.
Now everybody is my N-word.
Well, there is a long-lasting history of people trying to label us as something, and we take the label and make it our own into something that we adore, and then we motherfucking do it so much. Get your
chain.
nigga.
Big old dumbass chain.
Put a chain around a nigga's neck. God damn it. Okay, we gonna put a gold chain
Nigga,
around a
that shit
nigga's neck.
stupid.
Walk out the door, let there be
Big bruh.
flag waving Confederate redneck trucks outside. Fuck you, nigga.
Yeah,
Fuck you, nigga. Whatever. However
Yeah.
you want it.
yeah,
We fighting.
yeah.
So we didn't flip shit.
But I do. Because now I'm another level.
I
Look, now another level.
Let's
I
get it.
can't let it control me.
That's true.
Nothing can
That's
fucking
true.
like any of that shit. any of the
Not
shit.
even a little bit did it.
I can't.
It didn't.
I get busy. I'm not.
I'm sorry.
I'm not, big bro. No, I hear what you're saying. I should be lying. I should be lying based on history, but I'm gonna tell you something.
It doesn't pay. It doesn't pay.
Man, let me tell you
And
something.
mean it.
But listen to me. No.
You
No.
meant it. Have a nice
I
day.
am flabbergasted
Admit
right
it.
now.
Look, bro, I can't allow
And
a
I understand what you're saying.
because I am in control of myself.
Yes.
And
Control,
I am in
baby.
complete control of myself.
Yes.
And another motherfucker can't remote control me with a word. They can't get with me. They don't fuck with me. And that's like, it's I checkmate the checkmate, motherfucker. You pull out your ace fucking goddamn trump card on me, it don't work no
I
more.
got the joke. Yeah, that's a boy.
I'm major. No. Nigga, you're damn straight, bitch. You nigger. You motherfucking right. But you forgot to say real in front of it.
Oh.
Today, yeah, I'm
In
a
his
real
In
nigger.
his bag now.
Tonight,
In his bag
for
now.
you, so what you got left?
That's hard.
You got nothing left?
I'll keep my point.
You fucked up.
And you go back to your
Now-
miserable existence, and I want to go back to my higher power and vibration.
Man, but when we all get to a collective consciousness to not let a motherfucker control us with some fucked up ass words, then we assume our position.
Even acknowledging we didn't flip shit. We didn't change shit. You need to change you.
Well, I did first.
You did.
We'll come through.
You did.
We all gotta we got to fucking adapt and do it together. Like I did, but I did with us. Like we all just like, damn, you know what? You right. Like, so
Right.
like that wasn't shit. You know? Like that's different than you saying, well, you let a motherfucker slap the fuck out of you. Now I gotta fight
No
and be
way,
a
man.
man. But you saying something to me in order to make me give you power, I can't do that, man. I can't get. I can't let anybody control me with their words, and that goes for a woman in a relationship. That goes for anybody. Like,
Message.
but the point is, like, that takes this self-control in order for me to do that. And big bro, what you're saying is like, can you really do that?
No, I'm asking, can you?
I'm saying, will you?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Will I?
As a
And
whole.
that's the Faithe, that's exactly right. Like that's where we all need to be. But if somebody did it, would I be able to be in control like that?
Depends
Like-
on circumstance. It depends on the day.
I know what's right. I know what's right. I know what's right. And like it's a pride thing. Like if everybody is standing around like, damn, you let that motherfucker call you a nigger.
Nah. The exact way that you handled it though was champion.
Exactly.
It was.
But to the mind of a
But
weak-minded
exactly.
motherfucker,
It's
they
not
like,
that.
yeah, you let her call you a nigger, man. Damn, you didn't even fucking stand up for the goddamn real shit. I say, but you know what though, bro? I am fighting a battle that you're not on the level of, man. You know, like you
I'm
you
free
really
from
don't get that.
cage. I'm free from that cage. Like, you
But
can't-
it would
Bondage. Amen.
because bro, like honestly, like man, you know, it's just time for us to just like you can only get offended if something is true, man. Like man, when somebody
we are niggas though. We are black. We are a Negro. But we
Well-
aren't ignorant.
well, this is the thing about you though. Like this is what you got to understand.
Some people are white or black.
The word
Amen.
black is much more offensive by definition
Yep.
than the word nigga.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Because
Agreed.
it's a sneak attack. It's really a back end way around of calling you dirty, soiled, evil, wicked, misguided,
Absent of
uninformed, absent of light, motherfucking just fucked up. But we willingly call yourself black. But then when you look at the dictionary, all right, you go underneath the surface of anything to see what's really going on in here, under here, what's bubbling underneath. When you look at the definition of black, It's everything you don't want to be.
Agree.
Starting with negative. When you talk about energy, when you're jumping a battery and you got to give it that power,
Necessary.
it is necessary, but it's negative. And so, like, if you don't want to be negative, you almost don't want to consider yourself black.
But them the words you talking about, I get where you're going with the black.
So, like man, like
Ain't that-
me, like I say I'm not black. One time I was at Wright State and I told them that I was not black in there. And me and the professor, I did this when I was a grown man, not a kid, not a fucking student. Like in class, I taught the fucking teacher.
Right.
You know, man, bottom line. And told the teacher, like, look, you guys, for everybody that's in here listening, like, man, like, all your fucking terms. I was watching Dane Calloway. Man, brothers and sisters in America is the only people in this world who let someone else define us as what our national name to others shall be. Don't fucking name me. I'm Ahavad, motherfucker. I name myself.
I'll give you another one though.
We should name ourselves as a nation.
So like even Africa is named after Africana.
Yeah.
Like they're named after a
Africano Vespucci. No, that's Amerigo Vespucci,
Yeah.
but Africano Cipriano or what the fuck ever
It's
that we
named
getting
after-
this shit from Africa from. So what I'm saying is like, you need the Kuji Chakalia, that's self-determination,
Yes.
in order for us to
Talk that
will
climate
ourselves and what we shall will to be.
Oh God.
You know, but
I feel like you want to go see Black Panther.
Speaking of which, he cried during watching Black Panther.
That was fucked up.
I cried. I
Three movies
cried.
in a row. Now name the 3 movies that you cried for in a row. Let's see if we all agree.
Black Panther, Avatar, and Whitney Houston.
Now 2 out of 3, man.
Avatar
Look,
was the
At what point
teardropper.
in the movie did you cry?
all of it.
The whole
point.
well,
In which movie?
Black Panther and Whitney Houston.
It's two,
They
okay.
started you off
I can see
crying,
those two.
and
But
I
Avatar-
take it a step
But
further.
Avatar.
Because
Avatar
something
is
happened in
like
Avatar. I don't want to spoil it.
For
Like
4 hours? That movie 4 hours long.
I didn't cry the whole movie.
I've seen it
Avatar.
twice.
8 hours of crying is nuts.
How much you do
You need a hug, man.
For Whitney Houston,
Nah, Avatar.
Avatar.
Avatar probably like about
This
not
is the most
20,
crazy-
about like good a certain couple of parts. Man, I want to take it a step further and say anybody who doesn't cry got a real fucking
Heartless.
desensitized to some real shit.
Like your
Like how the
I
fuck
meditated
can
for
you
2
not?
hours and I
Yeah, no,
cried
real shit.
so good.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's healthy.
That's why I know that you're a great person.
So
man. You know this
speaking of this
shit.
great person, right? What's another path you could have chose if you would have just devoted strictly to one task?
Great question.
If you could go back and you like start your life over and you devoted your life to one task only, what else could you be
Still
great
be
at
singing?
besides music?
You can't
I'm
even
doing
say
a ad-
besides
I'm
music
doing a,
because if she really
podcast.
loves
What's
music,
going on?
That's what she's gonna do.
Uh,
But then again,
I'm on
what else do
TV
you have on
right
your
now.
mind?
What's happening?
Right, so go ahead.
You had a great
on,
point because I would choose the same thing. I would just do it differently.
Okay.
Tyler.
Okay.
If I had the tools back then that I had now, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, I didn't have a situation that allowed me to. You know,
Put her ass on the
white privilege is
podcast.
one thing. Other than that, I didn't have a privileged situation as far as mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? And so no way to get to college, no way to do any of that. So
Get more
Um,
street.
I would have it would have been nice if I could have had the support when I was young to like do music, go to Broadway, go to acting. I like to act. I'm good at voices and stuff like that.
Yeah, we see that.
You know.
You're natural.
So yeah, I would do other things rather than spending my youth being homeless in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Bullshit.
you know.
Kinda.
But that's how to cook it.
So let's talk about some of your accolades, right? So let's talk about some of your accolades, right? You are the only female
Well,
engineer.
wow.
Like I'm the only female engineer licensed in the city.
Women empowerment once again.
Big love.
So
With locks.
With locks, the correct terminology.
Wait, okay, you know what? I never got
What
to finish
what
that
kind
question.
of engineer too though?
Huh?
What kind of engineer?
I'm an audio engineer.
Yeah. Work at the can you work here? And help
technically,
Peanut?
yes. I technically can. I work at Encore right now, so yeah. And my
What's Encore?
Encore recording studio.
You don't know what
Yeah.
Encore is?
You know? No. Shout out to Encore.
Shout out to
I
Encore
ain't
Recording
hating on
Studio.
Hey.
Right.
Where is Encore?
like
at?
Drink
What they do?
Champs.
Encore-
Have you heard of them, Peanut?
yeah.
It's right by Teleferno Studio.
Like,
It's right downtown.
You know I'm in the culture, bro. Come on, man.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
You in a you are
He's pushing P. Come on.
Faithe, you heard of Encore?
Yes, baby. I have.
I have too.
You playing.
He's drinking cappuccino
You are
right
playing.
there.
Exactly.
Look, are you drinking out of a cap too? He's
Cappuccino.
drinking out of a cap. Why he capping? Look,
Out of the
Why
you drinking out
y'all?
of a cap. Seriously.
Bro, why would you
Excuse me, you guys. Like I think it's unfair to Encore. I think it's unfair to Encore for us to say we have not heard of
I
them,
did.
and I have heard of them.
Yeah.
And shout out
So
to
you
Encore.
heard
Shout
them,
out
you
to
don't know
Encore.
who they are, like,
Well,
corporation and
I
shit.
haven't met the person who controls it all, but I have definitely.
All right.
You are lit. I love it.
She said, not me.
Oh my, yo, the greatest podcast ever, man. Like
Found
Yes.
the flaws. Maybe you make that bed.
no end, like there's no way we can go anywhere.
Okay. I got a
There's no way we
Yes.
go anywhere else.
And after that
There's
question,
no way
my one
I'm
last
going
question.
anywhere else.
How are you promoting? Because I'm a little older. What I did?
What?
And I searched your name.
Right.
Oh.
And
Oh.
I came up with a whole lot. I came up with that you were busy.
Oh.
What does busy mean? Busy making
Nah,
money, busy working, busy living her life.
She got a situation going on. She was at not Elbows. That's old. That's real old. Dated myself.
And you was
Line
searching.
Robs, and then like twice you did something with like an all female ensemble, and then Rafiki and friends.
Yeah.
It's like
Wow.
several things.
I've
that I
been
saw.
busy,
Okay,
yeah.
she busy. But I didn't get like a snippet or like a sound or you know what I mean, like something to because I'm the type of person. I'm coming to see you. I'm coming to support you. I'm coming to ride.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
you can just like
Yeah.
tease me, tell me what it is.
Okay, well that's a complicated answer because that's a complicated topic.
Yeah.
That's a business minded topic. In the terms of promotion. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to understand you correctly. You're basically saying when you look me up, you see that I'm busy to shows, but you didn't hear a snippet. You didn't hear a video. There was no video of Samurai
We
singing
did.
that you singing or
Well,
something.
that's
We
true.
did.
That's
did.
true.
You was with
Nah, they
Justina.
found it. Nah.
Yeah.
The music video.
Yeah.
Okay, so with promotion, I'm actually trying to do something a little different. I don't want to give all my game out to anybody listening, but basically,
I'm ready.
I'm trying to
Pete.
fight the corporate conglomerate music industry by not shuffling my listeners to their particular platforms just to be paid fractions of a cent on a play.
Right, yeah.
So we're trying to
Fractions, for real.
fractions of a cent
Fractions.
on a play, So trying to change that dynamic to shuffle more of the listeners to the website. You can charge what you want. You get to control what they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? You're shuffling all their attention to you, not to Pandora, the Spotify, whatever. And then DistroKid gets X amount of $1 billion last year, but we're only getting paid fractions of a cent. You know what I'm saying? Something don't add up right there.
At all, apparently.
So there's a lot of different things that have to happen. Something else that I will add in on this. Peanut knows about this. I had my first full-length album out last year that got yanked.
My girl right there, Samuri. You got comment?
There was 10 songs, and I wrote everything and I co-produced it all. There was a main producer on the album on all the tracks, and then I co-produced the ones that I did. At the end, it was a whole long story, but part of that is actually the toxic masculinity. Not every man is that way, but some men have toxic masculinity. That's a thing, and he could not handle that I was a woman engineer and that I knew my shit. Because when I told him that mix ain't right, that EQ needs to come down, that don't sound right, I know what I'm talking about. And my colleagues at Encore, they know I have a good ear. I have a good reputation for having a good ear. And so it's like, you ain't gonna listen to me because you feel some type of way because I'm younger than you and because I'm a woman. But in all reality, your name's on the project too. Don't you want more money? And we trying to make the next project? You know what I'm saying? He was butthurt about that stuff. So long story short, he tried to basically get me to sign the rights away to my name. And the fine print of this contract, which I ain't no dumbass, so I read that shit. I read every single page, and this part right here is worded. I don't like the way that's worded. It sounds like you trying to steal rights to my entire name for everything I ever do. Everything that Samuri West ever does, period, he wanted me to sign the rights away to my name for my life. Anything Samuri West does. I said, I can't do that. He yanks my project, so I spent 2.5 years on this project. I got nothing to show for it. Because he yanked it because I wouldn't give my rights away to my name. So right now,
did that, then sign my life over to somebody.
I don't have the stuff I have out now is old. You know, I'm still working on redoing that, still getting the new stuff out that I've created, and so I'm in a transition point. I'm the wizard behind the curtain right now, if you will. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing all the work behind the scenes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
All right.
I have a question.
Let's go.
So like for like fans of your music, so
No.
are we going to be able to, like for instance, like I like artists that show a light of themselves or like they paint the backdrop of what they've been through. On your next album, are we going to see a little bit of that?
Yes, the album that got yanked is actually called Life Lessons. So that was my Life Lessons album. It was wrote majority of a lot of an enlightenment time of my life and my late teenage years, and then more of the enlightenment that I discovered in my early 20s as far as uncovering my particular generational curse to my family. The abuse, realizing, I've been conditioned to tolerating abuse, all that stuff. So elevating into my more mature self, that is all in Life Lessons. Bye. So yes, that is all in Life Lessons. I know we didn't talk about a lot of it per my request, but that is something else that, while,
I'd love to get your number and get it on your request.
yes.
I need to know more.
Okay.
Because I know you wanted to go back to your hair situation.
I did not finish my explanation that I thought was
So I
really,
just feel like,
yes.
What came about you getting your locks? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what made Sarah like, okay, I might have just, was it because of your mom and the long hair situation? And, or did you just want a new look? Like, and you stuck with it because you look good.
Okay, so thank you for that. So I really appreciated, fun fact about me, the word appreciate. The word appreciate, when I say the word appreciate, it means I see. It means I acknowledge its existence. That's such a medical terminology. I learned that with my daughter. Appreciate doesn't always mean thank you or gratitude. It means to see, to acknowledge. So I really appreciated when Ahava was talking about the tradition of dreads in retrospect to the oppressor.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that I didn't front consciously determine. I didn't determine that in my front conscious, like, I'm going to fight the oppression in my particular life by doing it. That wasn't the thought. You know what I'm saying? But as I look back, that was exactly what it was. But it was me deciding that for my life.
So, all right, hold on. I got a question that, because we 2 hours in. All right, so I want us to move this to something that's important.
Oh, shit. It ain't been important up to this point.
No, it's always been important, and you know it is. Like all of us have thought that it's important.
Absolutely.
So, being a dancer, being an exotic dancer and what you're doing, you did end up becoming involved in a relationship.
What do you
And
mean?
you were in a relationship.
I mean,
or
I've had boyfriends. I've
You've had
definitely been in
boyfriends,
relationships
okay.
in my life,
but you was in a relationship that produced your babe. The most important.
And that's a beautiful name. Lavender, I love that.
The most important soul in your life.
why you gonna make me cry?
Girl,
Nah. So I wanna go there right now because
Okay.
that's
It's
where
important to your life story for sure.
It is. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
so let's just start from the beginning about Lavender, and then let's go from there.
Okay. The beginning goes far beyond what the beginning might be to others.
When did you find out you were pregnant?
When did I find out that I was pregnant?
Mm.
Late April of that year. What was it? Late April of 2017. Late April of 2017.
Yeah.
So,
Were you excited? Were you happy? Were you
I
scared?
was, because I loved that man, you know. I loved that man with all my life. Thank you.
Did he love you?
Love don't do that. Love don't do what he did.
In the
Love
early
don't,
stages.
love don't. But you know what? I don't know what, looking back, that's a really traumatic topic. You know, there was so much abuse, so much narcissism coming from a Christian man. I can't say that he even knew what love was.
How did y'all meet though? Samurai.
All right. It's deep. It's deep. We talked about shrooms earlier. It's deep. Long story. Okay. Well, I'm going to back it up. But
Okay.
I ain't going to lose my train of thought. Long time ago when I was in high school, I dated this one dude. He and his sisters were like, Sarah, come to this psychic. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, nah, I don't like that shit. I'm not into that shit. I don't believe in no bitch hovering over a crystal ball. I'm not interested. I don't want to go. They was like, come on. I'm like, man, I don't believe in this shit. I don't want to go. I got drugged. I'm like, fine, I'll go. So
you got what?
Drugged there, like
Drugged. Okay.
drugged there, like
Drugged there.
not drugged, but I mean, pulled against my will to go to the event.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going. I'm like, fine, I'll go.
Damn, that term drug come from?
Taken against my will, right?
This whole time I'm
Taken
like-
against my will.
Yeah, go ahead.
But anyway, so I was outvoted to say, so we go there, right? Little old white lady, and it's so interesting. She had, my papa would consider it blue hair. Oh, gray hair, so gray that it's like
Blue.
white. It looks blue, right? She was so beautiful, especially for an old lady. But I took that to the spirit within, right? She basically tells me my future. I did not believe a single thing. I did not manifest it because I didn't believe it. I was just like, listen, whatever.
What
And
did she say to you?
it was not until she told me this that she was going to predict 5 to 10 years of my life. I never believed her. I never honed on it. I forgot all about it. And it didn't hit me until that time when I ended up in the situation that she said that she saw me in. And my jaw hit the floor.
What did she say to you?
She said a lot of things, but as far as Lavender, she said that I would have one child. She said she saw me with one child in a room of sick children. And that I had one. She said she saw me day and night in a room full of sick and disabled children, and one of them was mine. And it didn't hit me until I lived in the NICU for a whole year.
She said that to you?
She said that to me 10 years prior. And I didn't realize until I found myself in the NICU with my daughter, and I was crying. I thought, oh my God, here I am in a room full of sick and disabled children, and here is my one. This is what she told me.
Damn.
And it got deeper and got deeper from there. She told me about my papaw that would die. It didn't make sense at the time because who she was describing, my papa was alive. That's my papaw Tom. He's alive. What are you talking about? Shit. I didn't accredit. She said 5 to 10 years in the future. Then when papaw ends up dying, the things that she saw, papaw came to me and did the things in my realm to show me that he was with me, that she saw 10 years prior. And we prayed. We prayed to God. We did there was no crystal ball. I didn't believe this shit at first. But anyway, that was the whole thing. That what I would say is the beginning. As far as, because when I realized I was in the NICU, You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh my God, she predicted this shit. I was told of this. You know what I'm saying? So going back to how I met Aaron. I hate him.
Take a shot to that.
So I was on shrooms at the time, and I had this dude at my house. I was dating him at the time, and I could see his aura. And I could see his aura. This guy I was dating at the time, and it because I was tripping on shrooms, and I was sitting here thinking, oh, your energy ain't right. Your energy's too. I ain't gonna put it here or there, but it wasn't matching mine. And it was an epiphany at the time that I shouldn't be with this guy, right? And I remember praying and having this conversation with the divine. And I remember talking to God, for lack of a better term. And I remember thinking, God, and I had a very serious conversation with our Creator. And I said, God, I'm too smart for this shit. I said, I don't want to be wrong, God. I don't want to be wrong. I want to follow the righteous kingdom. I need to follow what's right, Lord God. But this shit don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If it's, I'm sitting here like, God, you got to let me know. Should I be believing in Jesus Christ of Nazareth and what we're taught in church? Or should I believe in spirituality because I'm too smart for this shit, God? You know my heart. You know my brain. So you got to help me out because I don't want to know. I don't want to believe the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And that was this big conversation I had with God. And it was like, no, I expect this. I expect this, God. I need this. I expect this from you. You did it for Daniel. You do it for me. You know what I'm saying? I need you to do this for me. So it came to me. I was being interviewed, if you will, by Bootsy Collins' son to sing in the Funk Squad, which is Bootsy's, his name is Uwe Collins. Uwe was having me at band practice. So I was over there in Cincinnati at band practice at Uwe's. That's Bootsy's son. And mind you, me being a dancer, I get plenty of attention from guys. And so if I ever liked a guy, this is part of my personality, I get shy. And I still am that way to this day. I have a lot of guy friends from being the only girl in parochial school. I'm very comfortable with guys to just even be my friend to conversate. So if I did like a guy, I would kind of really get, you know what I'm saying, shy.
How you do with me?
Stay on track. Stay
on
track.
track. So I saw this really handsome guy in the corner of the room. He looked super cool. And I thought, man, he is fly. He is cool. I thought that he looks cool. And so I was really shy. We ended up performing on the Milk River in Brooklyn. And so that weekend, and so we went to New York. We traveled on up there to New York, and it was the Milk River. That was the venue. And we went up there. And throughout the whole trip, this guy had been flirting with me. And I thought he's so handsome. I was really like a swoon, if you will, which is not normal for me. I don't get in my feelings. Guys don't swoon me. So for me, that was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I was very shy. We got to talking, everything. It was perfect, whatever.
This your baby daddy?
The sperm donor. Yeah. That's the sperm donor. Yeah. Well, he's never a father, so.
That's why I said baby
He was
daddy.
never a father. So, I had thought his family owns Baptist churches in Cincinnati, several Baptist churches in Cincinnati. He's Bootsy Collins' nephew. Everything, bass player at the church. We're in love. We fell in love very quickly. And I thought this was an answer to my prayer, right? The prayer, I said to God, you got to show me, God, right? And I'm saying, well, I fell in love with this guy from the Baptist church. You know what I'm saying? This must be the answer to my prayer. It was the answer to my prayer, but what the divine did was worked in that mysterious way. You hear me? And gave me what the negative first. God gave me the evil first. God gave me what wasn't true first so that I could know from a first-hand experience how toxic and evil that was. I can't tell you how much there was so much, I don't know if it was racist, it was prejudiced, it was a lot of negative towards me, that I took on the chin, being an ally, being aware. I just took that shit on the chin, you know. Never flinched about it, but his mom would say a lot of things to me. It'd be a lot of racist things said right in front of my face and then laughed about, you know. A lot of things belittling me, and then on top of that, it was her son was never in the wrong. He could abuse me, beat me, whatever it was, and it was, well, Sarah, what did you do to make him hit you? You know, well, what did you do to upset him? Type shit, you know, and it was like, I literally just wanted to finish my sentence. That's all. I literally didn't get to finish my point that he asked me. Like, I just wanted fairness. Like, hey, just treat me with respect. You know what I'm saying? That was it. A lot of abuse. I didn't know at the time about sexual abuse, so that was really prevalent. You know, have sex, that was, well, you gave me your body, so we must be cool, right? We must be cool. We had sex, so we must be all right now, right? And then the abuse would happen right after, again and again and again. The abuse would always happen. So, got pregnant. Lavender was born developmentally disabled because of the abuse. He beat me while pregnant. I was
He a bitch ass nigga.
I was hungry.
And if you're not a nigga, he's still a bitch ass.
You know, that's, I don't use that word, you know what I'm saying, but he was a terrible person. A terrible person, regardless of what he looked like.
So he abused you while you were pregnant.
The song I have for a seven, is about him beating me on 4th of July while I was pregnant. And he busted me up. His whole family came from North Carolina. And here I'm the only white person around, which it's never bothered me.
He black.
But what is it of, yes.
So he is a nigga. Yeah, he a bitch ass nigga.
But what it looks like, it never bothered me, but what it looked like from generations of people that come from the South, they're older, they come from the South. I am accepted into the family. I am very respectful. So of course I'm accepted, but at the same time, he hits me. I'm not about to call the police. I'm not, and I never called the police on him. I never did. And for the sole reason that he's a black man and I'm a white woman and I loved him. And I knew they would more than likely treat him unfair. So I never called the police on him, regardless of how many times he deserved it.
So like his family witnessed you being pregnant and
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Brandy. Bye bye.
So like his family witnessed you being pregnant and him assaulting you while you were pregnant.
Mm-hmm. They stuck up for me a little tiny bits. I remember one time they pulled us on the back porch and had told him, like, you can't be doing this. But the reason that they said that he couldn't be doing this is because I'm a white woman. They didn't say that the reason that she couldn't be doing this is because it's not right. They just said, she's a white woman. You can't do this. Don't you know what that looks like? Don't you know that if Sarah wanted to call the police, she wouldn't be wrong? And do you know what would happen to you, Aaron? So that was why he couldn't beat me. It's because I'm white. You know what I'm saying? Can't have that particular type of drama. So it was really toxic. There was a lot of stuff that even, you know, being an ally, there was some times where I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that this attention would be had. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time we was in the hospital. I had told him, stop following me. Stop following me. You're being abusive. I need to go take a walk, sit with Lavender. Because, okay, girl.
You gotta stay here all night having an open conversation with you. What?
Yes. So it's so deep. It's also.
She can't say it on live.
Yeah, just type it in.
Here you go, baby. Thank you. You are a joy. I love your energy.
I want y'all to
I'm
vote.
so grateful that you was here. You said you was born in '99? You are a baby.
Prince made a song down there. You ain't heard about it?
We heard about it, but it wasn't even a song. I mean, it wasn't even a year yet.
I feel like you shouldn't use
Like,
it.
he probably made that like in '85.
He made it in '99.
I doubt it.
That's why he said 1999.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I think that's
The whole thing of Lavender is definitely deserves to be told. Lavender's story
And
definitely
RIP to
deserves.
your
I know we
daughter.
like 3 hours.
I think we should have a part 2 to this, and then
Okay.
and then we'll highlight Lavi's life because I think there's some similarities between. Yes, you will be. You are. Come on.
Lavi's life was so magnificent and still is, and truly, 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 the lessons that Lavi has taught me every living, breathing person should hear. Truly. Like the lessons that little girl, it capacified in her lifetime being here was so crucial to even our existence in these bodies, you know?
I'm sorry, sir, baby. I gotta go.
No, you
My husband
good.
is waiting for me. He like, you about to get left. No, I don't want to get left.
Nah,
You're
right.
that's
Don't
it. Nah, we've been going for a while, but you got a really complex story that I want to
Yeah.
go.
Samurai
And we're gonna
West
do
in the
part 2.
building.
Part 2 coming soon.
Part 2 gotta happen.
Man,
And I still want to know about.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yes.
Come with your social. With your
For
social
some
media.
reason, I thought you was gonna say social security number. I'm like, hell no, I'm not gonna say my
social media.
Social media. So my name is Samurai West. It is spelled Samuri. There's only one A in it. So spell that right, or it's not gonna come up on the Google search.
It's spelled Samuri.
Samurai. Bye, baby. Samuri West, like the direction. You can find me on all platforms. So definitely hit me up. Search me. You know, I mix, master, produce. If anybody needs something mixed, mastered, even like a song review, I review mix and masters as well.
I know a guy who needs his songs mixed and mastered. He got some really good music, and he really needs to mix and master, and he's on something. But man, I'm sorry, man. I wanted to get the full story.
Be on the
and then
lookout. I got new
derailed.
music coming soon. So part 2,
Yeah,
yes.
so, yeah,
There's a lot,
yeah.
especially with all the cappuccinos.
Tell yours in 2 hours. I definitely couldn't tell mine.
There's so much. I mean, gosh, how old are we? How much time have we lived to only give it a certain amount of time to tell the most prominent parts? That just don't add up.
To have like somebody from a younger generation to sit here and listen to it, they ain't on that.
Man, like both of y'all got like, so much in common more than what y'all would even think. And that, man, Legendary People Podcast, Legendary
People.
Stories. We're gonna do a part 2, for sure. We'll bring everything back. So, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Ahava. But my nickname is Ahavir.
You didn't tell me what it is, so I'm not gonna call you that.
Ahavir? What does that mean? I don't know. My girl made the name up. And not just
I don't know.
My girl made up the name Ahavir. Yeah, I mean, well, she told me I should have named myself Ahavir. We have actually no idea what these names are called. I mean, what these names mean, but her name might be Ahama. Ahama. I'm Ahavir, but my real name is Ahava. And if you want to call me a nickname, call me Ahava. So there it is.
My man L's.
Wow.
Who don't take no L's.
Wow. Ahavir. Ahava. Ahama. Ahavir. Ahama. Ahavir. Ahava. Ahamir. Ahava.
Stacking Smith.
What up, fam?
Hey, bro, I heard y'all got a new store opening up. Yeah, that's good. Where it's at?
100 North Main.
Okay, y'all gonna be doing grills in there?
You already know.
Oh, okay. What's it called then, bro?
It's called
Grills on Main Street. 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 What's up, Stacking Smith?
What up, fam?
Hey, bro, I heard y'all got a new store open.